the heart of the action. Liverpool versus Arsenal.
The Gunners have got their problems, but they dug in and won on the opening day. This is a big test, though, as they come up against a man who loves scoring against them, and he's off the mark already.
Monday Night Football.
These Liverpool fans got used to winning the title in the late 70s and 80s, but it's 6 seasons since the championship last went to Anfield. They threatened to win it last time out, but fell away. Is this going to be their year? Arsenal have their problems. They still don't know who's going to be in charge at home. Are Liverpool ready? We should get some idea about that tonight. Are you ready? Is that machinery all oil?
I hope so. It's dusted it down this afternoon, got the cobwebs off it. It's ready. I'm looking forward to another season of Monday Night Football. Hopefully you'll not upset too many managers, but we can never tell with you sitting there. But if we get the same sort of start, Rich, as we got the opening Monday last season, I mean, who will ever forget that magnificent Tony Yeboah strike at Elland Road that won Leeds 3 points against Liverpool? It was absolutely great.
Well, yesterday, Super Sunday took us to the Dell.
Okay. McAteer well forward, and a chance to loop it over Curry. He did that, and it was a matter of millimetres that stopped Southampton making a sensational start. Well, that was terrific play by Mark Hughes. For Burnley, they've got a man over. It's Dennis Wise. Hughes, there's a ball onto the left. Hughes hasn't seen it, but Burley has. It's Andy Myers. Vialli calling for it to be rolled across. Vialli gets away. Petrescu with him. Vialli goes for goal, beaten out by Besant, away from Petrescu just. Hughes on the scene. Vialli, and there's Besant again.
That's a great save. No, that is a save.
Wise getting on and making Besant work again. Myers. It's a great effort. Oh, Vialli, so close with the acrobatics. Petrescu, Vialli, Wise, goalkeeper.
Well, it's Dave Besant's day, isn't it?
Levert. Vialli smuggling away from Dodd. Oh, and Besant was starting to go the other way. I think it came off perhaps Vialli's toe. Besant was expecting a shot across him.
Well, Ruud Gullit said yesterday, Andy, that was 2 points lost from Chelsea's point of view. I can't imagine for a moment you'll disagree with him.
No, I mean, all during my commentary second half, Rich, I kept saying, I can't believe that they're not putting in an extra 2 or 3 yards, going and winning the game. It was there, in my opinion, for them to win. And it was nice to see Ruud come out at the end of the game and be so disappointed and say it was a game they should have won. I felt that game was there to be won. Normally away from home, you'd accept a point, go home happy. But there are certain away games you know you should have won. Chelsea know, and Ruud Gullit knows, they should have won that yesterday.
And what about their new boys, Gianluca Vialli, first of all?
Yeah, I think of all three, I was a little bit disappointed with Roberto Di Matteo. I think of all three, he was the least impressive. He was functional, he got it, he gave it easy. But Vialli, I'm a big fan of. And I thought he looked like the type of player who hadn't had a full pre-season. It looks to me like he's still a yard or two short, a couple of days training short of being full fitness, but I like the way he worked the line in particular, and I've picked out a few instances here. Here we see him coming across the line. This is early in the first half, Richard, and he's coming across the line like that. Now, I thought he worked that really well, and Matteo did that. He played him a decent ball. I just think that had that ball been fed up here, then Vialli can get a shot at goal. What he's done, he's fed it up a little bit wide, but it's Vialli's run I'm talking about here. He ran across striding, in between the full-back and the centre-back. It's what you want your strikers to do. And he knows he can't score, but he plays a lovely little ball to the back post. He just left everybody behind. Again, Dennis Wise, middle of midfield, looking for someone who produces it. Vialli comes short and then bends his run into this corner. But it's when he gets to positions like this, you think, well, it's nothing much on, and he goes. He knows when he gets to here that he doesn't have many options. There's no point in him fizzing it across here. There's no one there. But he puts plenty of power and accuracy into the shot. Well, and as we said during the commentary, Dave Besant had one of those days where he stopped everything. Again, this is classic forward running. We know as it comes in there, Richard, that Mark Hughes, we've talked about it year after year, he faces the play up. He likes to come look for it. So they know that they have that option into feet with Hughes. What they're looking for is another option. Will Vialli give them it? Just watch this. He's right here. Watch his run. Now, this is classic. In he goes. As soon as the centre-half takes his eye off him, they look to play offside. Bad decision. And he's only fractionally away. Gets a toe on that. He's got his goal. And this is where he uses his strength. They go and mark him really tightly. Shouldn't really be going anywhere. He goes over. He manages to keep control of the ball. A little bit of luck with his arm. And he just ran out of steam a little bit here. But again, he gets the shot on target. And the one time where he showed, we always talk about the Europeans being technically gifted. What about this for skill? Difficult, difficult skill. And oh so close to getting an opening day goal. But I was impressed with him, and I think when he gets another 2 or 3 games under his belt, we'll see the best of Vialli.
So Ravanelli, his old strike partner, crashed onto the scene on Saturday. How would you describe Vialli? What sort of player is he then?
Well, I like the quote that Graham Souness used in the paper today. He says, as the game wore on yesterday, he became more and more like a fox. And that, to me, sums up Gianluca Vialli. He will be a thinking man's player, a Teddy Shim, who always thinking about the game. He will test defenders continually by movement. Now, I think Mark Hughes has always been easy to mark because he stands up there and he's marked. Vialli will pose all sorts of different problems to defenders. As soon as they take their eye off him and look at the ball, he'll be spinning away into spaces that defenders don't want him to go. I think he'll be a real success.
Listening to you yesterday, I got the impression you liked the look of Leboeuf.
Yes, I did. I picked out some of the good things he'll do. I think his use of the ball was excellent, and that's what I picked out from here. You know, we didn't really see him tested defensively, but what I think we'll see him do more and more is in situations like this, they'll feed it in here. This is Roberto Di Matteo, Richard, and I think they'll feed an awful lot in early into this area here, and what they'll try and do is suck men forward from the midfield area, clear spaces, and as it's popped back to him, he'll just look up and he'll spread it. God knows how long that is, but look at that. You've now got a full-back in possession, and he's well into the opponent's half. He likes that one, right to left. I think that's going to be his favourite ball. Dimitri carrying, I don't expect to see him do that much. Launch it up the pitch, 60, 70 yards carrying. I expect to see him just roll it out to Leboeuf, and he'll look up like this. Again, wonderfully accurate pass. Again, the left wing-back has got good possession on the halfway line. I wondered whether he could do it the other way. I wonder if he could spread it to the other side, because that's a more difficult skill with the right foot. But here he shows us, bump, again, this is a great ball, because had the header been better, look at little Dennis Wise, he's made a great run into a lovely big space there. And if Petrescu's header had been better, then Dennis Wise might well have been in. But this is the ball of the match for me. Watch this. This isn't a pass, this to me is like a shot. Watch the way he hits this. I'll just slow it down a bit. And even then, look at that. I mean, he's fizzed that. That is a magnificent pass. And the only thing that let it down was Petrescu didn't control it.
And I mean, a year ago, correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
we sat, or rather you sat there wanting more of Ruud Gullit when he was in that position. Do you want more of Leboeuf, or is that his job? I
think it'll come. What I think we'll get from Frank Leboeuf, when the confidence grows, when he gets to know his players, I think he'll then step forward, Richard, and play those passes from 20, 30 yards further. My one concern with Ruud Gullit last year was he was too creative for me and less of a defender to be playing in that sweeper position. I think Frank Leboeuf is a good defender. We'll see it tested this year undoubtedly more than we saw at Southampton on Sunday. but I think it'll be tested. I think he'll stand up to that, but he'll also step forward, I think, more and more often and use that kind of passing ability further up the pitch.
Back to Saturday, Manchester United won at Wimbledon again. I think 5 times out of 6 they've done that now, so they
like it down there now,
they do
they?
like it there, obviously. What did you make of their 3?
I thought there were 3 great goals. What I've liked about Manchester United, 2 games that I've seen, that was the Charity Shield and on Saturday, has been their hunger and desire that they seem to have to get off to a flyer and to really go for it early in the season. And when you think, I mean, look at the first goal, look at Roy Keane. He has just gone in for an operation. Who would have dreamt that someone travelling like this was carrying an injury? Unbelievable. And then, well, it's all about Cantona, but you look at Cantona there. Now, he doesn't stand around. When the ball's cleared, Richard, he might have been tempted to stand, but how often have we talked about him drifting? And he just drifts this way. You think he's going nowhere, but a lot. Nicky Butt, the first touch there, that's a beautiful layoff. Now, when it drops to Eric, I think the only place he can score, you see the defender coming in with the block. As I said, if Eric tries to go there, he doesn't score. That's a nice big target he's got left of the goalkeeper. He doesn't score, in my opinion. Normally, I would criticise goalkeepers near post, but not that time. That's ferociously struck. Great strike from Cantona. The goalkeeper's got absolutely no chance. This, let me just take that back. I just wanted to spot something up. If you watch down in this bottom corner here, Dennis Irwin's been marked by Vinnie Jones. But watch how quickly he reacts as the ball is tucked into Roy Keane. And again, it's Keane's ability to see the player move off the ball. Watch this for a ball. Brilliantly weighted. Oh. Now, yesterday, how often did I talk about Dave Besant's good positioning at the near post area? And I think here we see a bad example of it. Besant must have made 4 or 5 saves at the near post area because he was right next to his near post. And had the goalkeeper been next to his near post here, Dennis Irwin couldn't possibly have scored. So it was a little bit of an error. We love looking at Beckham's goal again.
It got worse for him, didn't it?
Yeah. But Beckham's goal, this is what I wondered. I thought it's travelled an awful long way. We did that yesterday. It travelled something like, well, we'll see in a second. There, 57. But what I thought I'd do today, I'd time it. I wonder how long the ball was in the air. You haven't seen this?
No.
You know, it's travelled, what, 57.4 yards. Normally you chip a ball that sort of distance, you're talking, what, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds?
3 weeks, in some cases.
In your case, yeah. But he hits it with such power. Look at that. It's only in the air, just over 3 seconds. A wonderful strike from David Beckham.
So that's Manchester United. What about, according to the bookies, their main title rivals, Newcastle United? Lost again, leaked goals again.
They did leak goals. I've taken this tape and I've looked at the goals that they've lost. Charity Shield and also the goal that they lost. Not the penalty so much against Everton, but the goal that they lost against Everton in free play. Now, I think what they've done, they've contributed to their own downfall, Richard. Here, we see in Charity Shield, it's 0-0. They're pretty, they're tippy-tappy. They lose control of the ball, and what I think they do is they get a big, huge gap between their back 4 and their midfield 4. Their midfield 4, apart from David Batty, who's been involved in this, are miles away. And there's a big, big gap in between them. Now, they don't do an awful lot wrong from here because this is all about Manchester United. Maybe a little bit of communication. I talked about how Scholes had let Beckham know that Cantona was here. And I just wondered, maybe the same sort of shout from Peacock to Beresford, it might have just made Beresford just check his run a little bit. Sometimes you have to communicate if you're a back 4. It's part and parcel of the job. But after that, Eric Cantona just slots it away quite comfortably. But it's the goals from there. I think the second goal in particular, you'll see exactly what I mean about them committing men forward. Look at that. There's the 4 midfield players that high up the pitch. Now, just watch how far it is before. I mean, look how deep they are. I mean, normally I'd expect a back 4 to have been up there when you're midfield 4, nice and tight and squeezed up, but they're so far away. And when you get stretched like that, and if you look here again, both full-backs do tend to push forward, and they get caught when teams break against them. John Beresford really struggling to get back. Albert's had to come out the centre. David Batty, the only midfield player here who has managed to get back in. And who's caught up the play and overtaken them all? We see him circled. Nicky Butt.
Is that a lack of communication again, or are there other things wrong?
I think it's a bit of both, in all honesty, Richard. By now, they really are toiling here. They're playing about with them the second half. But even again, 2 players should see this run of David Beckham's. One of them should track it. They don't. There's a back 4. You can't play offside when there's no pressure on the ball. Eric Cantona could have picked his any time to play that pass and did so. This is the one that amazes me as well. I know you're down, but watch Roy Keane. Now, I've stopped that there. The nearest player to Roy Keane is over 17 yards away. That's unbelievable in my book. Unbelievable. And therefore, because he's so far, when he hits it, the nearest anyone can get is over 8 yards. Now, that is just unbelievable when Roy Keane's striking that from 25 yards. It just shouldn't happen. The goal on Saturday, we'll look at that. They look well set there, but when you've got Ferguson in speed in positions like that, and you're knocking the ball like that, you're asking for trouble. I don't know where David Ginola is, maybe the right-sided player who was playing then, whether he should have been back. But no one reacts, Richard. Look at Speed's run. No reaction. No reaction. Reaction should have been better. Lack of communication, I don't know. It might well be. Communication is important. But they don't get round, they fail to react, and Speed makes them pay.
And what's the message?
Hard work. The message is, this has got to be worked at in the training ground. These will only be solved. This problem will only be solved. There's two reasons. They'll work hard at training ground, or they'll go and play three at the back. Now, those are two options I think Kevin's got.
Our Monday night football comes from Anfield tonight. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Liverpool with their eyes on the title. Arsenal with a lot of work to do, it seems, still. Next, we'll check out the team news. Tomorrow here on Sky Sports 1, we've got the final of the Under-15 Cricket International. That's India against Pakistan. Tonight, the Monday night football comes from Anfield. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Liverpool have their sights on silverware this season. Arsenal won at the weekend, put their problems behind them. Can they surprise Liverpool tonight at Anfield? Liverpool are unbeaten against them in the last two seasons. Fair number of games down the years. They've won 3 of the 4 over the last two seasons, scoring 7, all 7 from Robbie Fowler. At Anfield, they've lost only 3 of the last 21. Ghana's most famous win there, surely, 1989, when Michael Thomas won them the title in the last minute. OK, Trevor Francis is waiting to talk to us up at Anfield. We'll talk about the game tonight shortly, Trevor, but first of all, did you enjoy yesterday?
I enjoyed the result, Richard, not the performance, but, you know, it was good to get 3 points on my first game back.
There's better to come from the Blues in Birmingham then, is there?
But when you consider we only had 3 weeks of pre-season, which was like 6 games to try and gel a side together, it's going to take time, and as the season progresses, I'm hoping that we'll improve.
Happy with the new signings, Trevor? They all perform well?
They all did their bit, yes. Steve Bruce was a tower of strength at the back. We needed him in the second half. We're under extreme pressure. I'm sure Dave Bassett's side will be disappointed that they didn't get the goal. But obviously with Steve there, you're always in with a chance of keeping a clean sheet.
What about your goal? Impressed with it?
Well, it was a great strike, wasn't it, from Devlin? It surprised a few people that I selected him because, you know, all season I've been playing Jonathan Hunt. But I felt that Devlin would give us a bit more attacking power, and so it proved.
The crowd give you a good reception, Trevor, and the players?
Oh, it was magnificent, Andy. There were 19,000 there, and, you know, it's a day I shall never forget. As I say, the performance wasn't what I wanted, but there are going to be times this year when we play well and not get a result.
You better believe that.
Would you have preferred different opposition, Trevor, to Palace and Dave Bassett in particular, who's a very close friend, I know?
Well, the fact that he's a close friend didn't really concern me, but I would have chosen different opposition to Crystal Palace. If you remember last season, the second half performances were absolutely top class, and really they were unfortunate not to go into the Premiership. For me, they're probably the best side in the league.
Well, I think a first win in 10 attempts for Birmingham City against Crystal Palace. You'd have settled for that before the start, wouldn't you? No matter how you got it, the 3 points were more important, weren't they?
Let me tell you, as a player and as a manager, I've not had too many successes on the first day either.
Congratulations for breaking your duck then.
Are you going up, Trevor?
Well, after the first game, you know, there's no way you can make a judgment, but as I said this now, I think we'll be in with a chance. There's about 5 or 6 teams, I think, Richard, that are very, very strong, and hopefully we'll be one of them at the end of the season.
Trevor, we'll talk to you later. Right now, let's get some team news on the game tonight. Liverpool and Arsenal. Nick Collins is in the tunnel. Nick.
And the first thing to tell you is that both teams are unchanged. No David Platt for Arsenal because of his back injury, but Robbie Fowler does play despite a slight back strain that we were hearing about earlier on. So let's have a look at how Liverpool line up. This is the side, of course, that drew 3-3 with Middlesbrough at the weekend. And no room still for Neil Ruddock, who remains on the bench, and a couple of youngsters there on the Liverpool bench, Carragher and Thompson, yet to appear in the first team. Moving on to Arsenal. And as I say, they keep the same side that beat West Ham 2-0. Martin Keown is captain tonight, and Ian Wright on the bench as he was on Saturday. So it's Hartson and Bergkamp up front for the Gunners. Alongside me is Jamie Redknapp. Jamie, I gather you're getting fairly close to full fitness again. Is it the injury that you got during Euro 96?
It is, yeah. I'm getting very close. I'm hopefully about a week away, but it's still the same ankle that I damaged in Euro 96. But it was a bit of a problem, but it's hopefully improving now.
How much anticipation is there here at Liverpool as the new season gets underway?
Yeah, everyone's looking forward to the start of well, obviously we've had a good result at Middlesbrough, and hopefully tonight we're getting a good result again.
Is there a feeling that this was the year that Liverpool must finally break that spell and win the title again?
I think so. I think it's important that we win something this season. I think we feel we let the fans down last year by not getting any silverware. So hopefully this year could be the year.
Arsenal are a very tough test, though, to start with, aren't they? Never easy to beat.
Yeah, Arsenal are a very good side, very strong, and I'm sure they'll make it difficult for us.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Jamie, thanks for joining us. Back to you, Richard.
No Neil Ruddock, Andy. I can't imagine he'll be too happy about that.
No, he won't be. Neil's not a lad who takes kindly to being left out. I know he was some doubt about his fitness for the weekend, but all talk in the press today was that he was fit and ready to play. It may be that he's not quite 100%, and it doesn't surprise me that Liverpool, Roy Evans in particular, they've always been a club who, when teams have done the business for them, and they've played well, and Roy must think that they did all right at the weekend, it's been same again. So I'm not really that surprised.
No Adams in the Arsenal lineup, no Platt or Wright either. How do you think they will line up without those two?
Well, we'll get with Trevor in a minute and we'll have a chat about that. But talking about, they'll miss Adams, they'll miss his leadership, they'll miss his drive, they'll miss everything like that, his commitment. Platt, I think they've got players in that, I was going to say 1 to 11, in that lineup that will more than compensate. They'll do the same type of job in getting forward. Ian Wright, what team wouldn't miss a natural born goal scorer who's scored 20 goals plus for about the last, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons, Richard? I think any team will miss him. But I think we'll all go down now onto the board and just bring Trevor back up. Evening, Trevor.
Hi, Andy.
Nice to talk Premiership football for a change. Let me remove this lot here. There's Liverpool, because Arsenal, we think, will be wearing blue. We'd like to talk about Arsenal first. Now, looking at the 2 games they've lost at Anfield, 3-1 and 3-0, Trevor, they've never started the game, those games, with 3 at the back, with 3 centre-backs. I take it that's how we expect them to start tonight.
Yes, we actually played against them in pre-season friendly at St Andrews, and they did play with the 3 at the back, and it's the 3 that's involved tonight. Martin Keown, Andy Linighan in the centre, and Steve Bould on the left-hand side.
Now, do you expect they'll play zones, will they, Trevor, and not man-mark people?
I would imagine so, but obviously, you know, playing against Collymore and Fowler, you know, if there's one thing you want to say about this Arsenal defence, they're not particularly blessed with pace.
No.
And against Collymore and Fowler, they're obviously a big threat tonight.
Well, Keown, to be fair, is quite quick, and if he's playing on the right side, I just wondered whether he'd play central because of his pace, Trevor, because if out of all 3, certainly Martin Keown, if he plays right side, is the one who is blessed with a good amount of pace.
Yeah, but the suggestion is, Andy, that's the way they're going to line up.
Yeah.
The only change they've had over the last few games is the fact that Bould was the central of the 3, but he's gone back out to the left-hand side.
So I take it Winterburn and Lee Dixon will be the wing-backs, as we call them.
Yeah, I think they're fairly comfortable in that role. They've played it on numerous occasions for George Graham. I don't think it's a problem to them.
What about ahead of that? How do you see that? That's what I'm curious about, the players ahead of that. All talented players. Perhaps Steve Morrow, the one whose job will be easier than anyone's.
Well, I'm just wondering, you know, Andy, if Steve Morrow will be detailed to mark Steve McManaman.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen that happen in the past, and I don't think British players are too familiar with man-to-man. It's a specialist job, and at times you can come unstuck trying it. But I would think that Morrow and Parlour would be the 2 defensive ones.
Yeah.
Hartson obviously would be the one up front by himself.
Yeah. With
Bergkamp and Merson coming from behind.
Yeah, so that it's almost a 3-4-2-1, Trevor, as we look at it.
Yeah, I think defensively, you know, they're rather similar to Liverpool, but the biggest difference to me is that whereas Liverpool have got 2 out-and-out strikers in Collymore and Fowler, with McManaman just behind, Arsenal are playing with the 1 sole striker up there in Hartson.
Yeah, I mean, that's the major difference. I mean, do you see any problem for the Liverpool back 3, in fact, in having only Hartson to mark?
I was a little bit surprised that Ruddock wasn't, you know, favoured. I think that, you know, if Hartson does have, you know, attributes, is obviously in the air. He's a big threat in the air. And I'm just wondering, you know, if Matteo can cope with him.
Obviously, it'll be McAteer, Trevor and Bjørnebye as the wing-backs against Winterburn and Dixon. And I suppose John Barnes and Michael Thomas in the midfield.
Yeah, it's good to see Bjørnebye back, isn't it? Because he had a serious leg injury. It gives him more balance on that side. And last year, you remember, Rob Jones was playing there. He's not particularly comfortable with his left foot, but Bjørnebye is a natural down the left-hand side. And of course, on the other side, the other lad, Jason McAteer, did exceptionally well when he was played there last year.
What about Robbie Fowler? I mean, a thorn in Arsenal's flesh, Trevor, for the last 2 seasons, particularly at Anfield. Hat-tricks in both games. Do you think it'll be more difficult for Robbie tonight? We see some wonderful goals here, but do you think it's going to be more difficult for him facing the 3 big lads at the back?
I don't think so. I think that Robbie Fowler has proved himself over the last 2 years. He's an outstanding goal scorer, and he will score goals in anyone's company.
Even if there's 3, 4 or 5 centre-backs there?
Well, I think they've got the 3 there, as we mentioned, Keown, Linighan and Bould, and they're all experienced defenders. They know what it's all about. But I think with the prompting of the fellow on the floor there, McManaman, Collymore looks to be starting the season well. The 3 of them, I think they complement each other very, very well.
If there's a problem, say, that Liverpool might have to cope with, Trevor, looking at the way the teams are, if they play the way we think with Bergkamp and Merson playing deep, I mean, if there's one thing that maybe McManaman and Michael Thomas and John Barnes aren't great at, I would think it's tracking people back towards their own goal. People, I think, can maybe run off them. Is it a case that, in particular, 3 centre-backs are going to have to wary of people? And even Parlour, I think, might well get forward in contact with him, leaving Morrow as the one. But these 3 are going to have to watch for people coming free from deep.
Well, I think you're spot on there, Andy. You know, when you look at the Liverpool lineup, obviously McManaman is a very offensive player. Barnes likes to get forward. So does Thomas. You know, we talk about the holding player. I don't really see one in there. So perhaps, you know, Bergkamp and Merson, the way that they play tonight for Arsenal, they could be the key to whether Arsenal get a result or not. I think Liverpool at home, they have to be favourites. But it all depends on those 2, Merson and Bergkamp.
Well, thanks, Trevor. We'll talk to you later, pal.
The live Monday night football this evening comes from Anfield. It's Liverpool against Arsenal, who won their first away game last season on Merseyside at Goodison. Goals from Platt and Wright. They can't score tonight. Liverpool against the Gunners to go top. Next, we'll be checking on the form.
Pakistan.
I always pray.
Prepare themselves
I always focus on the game.
to face England
I'm going to make sure the ball goes out of the ground.
in the first one-day international, with England determined to make the Texaco Trophy theirs.
That's out.
There can be only one victor. The Texaco One-Day International Series, coming soon, live on Sky Sports 1.
You know, until the end of August, BT are giving money off longer calls. As much verbal as you like to anywhere, even abroad.
Typical. More verbal.
Oi, behave. After you've been talking for 10 minutes, you automatically get 25% off the rest of the call.
Can I use your phone, Mr. Hoskins?
Yeah, come on. All right, you can bring the duck.
It's good to talk, and it's even better until the end of August.
Everybody thinks all fats are bad.
Oh, folly!
The polyunsaturates and flora actually help lower cholesterol, making it good news for my body.
Your body for everybody, everybody.
We asked these motorists why they chose Touchline Motor Insurance.
Initially I chose Touchline because they were the cheapest. Soon after my policy started, I had a hit-and-run accident. 12 days after the accident, Touchline had my car fixed and back on the road.
Touchline staff were friendly, helpful. I couldn't believe the money I've saved.
Touchline have been absolutely marvellous. In fact, I've recommended them to my best friend.
Our friendly approach to motor insurance could save you money. Get in touch with Touchline. Call 0800 207 800 now.
It's Now 34 with 42 of the hottest hits around. Now 34. That's what I call music.
The last weekend of the Super League.
It has been one almighty effort.
Wigan are determined to keep their title hopes alive by shaking the foundations of Central Park when they face Workington. While St Helens will be the Super League champions with a win against a Warrington side desperate to make the Premiership playoffs. A Super League triple bill including London v Castleford, sponsored by The Times, from Saturday, live on Sky Sports 1.
Side where Ravanelli, of course, got all the headlines. But what about Liverpool's performance?
Well, I thought I'd look at Liverpool's goals, Richard, more than anything. We've seen all the goals from the weekend, and I thought we've got a really good high angle of all the goals. One of the things I was not critical of, one of the things I thought they lacked maybe at times last year was someone who could get past the front two, or people didn't get past Collymore and Fowler enough. McManaman does, we know that, but I didn't think enough people did. Now, the goals, the first two in particular, we've just marked Bjørnebye there on that left side, and they're just building up here. There's a free kick just taking place in here. And Bjørnebye's just sort of walking about. Now, last year I didn't see anyone do what he's about to do now, Richard. As they play this long ball, it's just going to come up here towards Stan Collymore. But watch Bjørnebye. You know the word I always use a lot in football? Gamble. And that's all he's done. He's taken a chance and he's been rewarded with a wonderful goal. Again, John Barnes with the second goal. We've highlighted him there. The ball's been played about. It gets played into the front two. Now, not too often, or maybe not often enough, should I say, did I see Barnesy get past him. But just watch his run from here as they play it wide. He's past the front two now, and he keeps going. He thinks there's something on. Watch the way he just pulls off the defender there. That's beautiful stuff. And what a finish. Great stuff. And we wondered, is Robbie Fowler up and running? Is he in working order? This answers it. Look at that. 8 defenders. There's Fowler. He's found a couple of yards of space. And that is a magnificent finish.
Is that an addition to their armoury? Bjørnebye being able to do that on that left-hand side?
Bjørnebye's more natural. I think that is the thing. Now, that would be an unnatural thing for Rob Jones maybe to do, coming in on his right foot all the time. What it gives him a natural run. Also, the cross. You notice the cross for Fowler's goal. It came to Bjørnebye's left side. He took one touch and he delivered it beautifully with his left foot. Great cross, in my opinion. Rob Jones would have to deliver a different type of cross from his right side, swinging in towards defenders, which I think as an ex-striker are easier to defend against.
And without the pressure of being the most expensive player in the country, what do you expect from Stan Collymore this season?
Big things, because I've tipped him possibly to be top goal scorer in the Premiership in our little suite here at the office. And I think Stan will have learned an awful lot from his first year at Liverpool. He said some things and did some things that, you know, in hindsight he may have regretted doing, but I think he's probably learned an awful lot more about playing at Liverpool. You know, and when you think about it, you know, I've talked about the threat of Ferdinand, and I've talked about the threat of now Ferdinand and Shearer. I mean, what must it be like for teams who are facing Liverpool? and they say, well, which one are we going to cope with? Who can we cope with? Is it Collymore? If we keep him quiet, we've got Fowler to worry about. If we keep Fowler quiet, we've got Collymore to worry about. What a nightmare for defenders.
Did he change, and if so, to what degree when he went to Anfield from what we got used to seeing at Nottingham Forest?
I think from becoming an out-and-out striker, an out-and-out goal scorer at Notts Forest, he was on the end of everything, he was expected to score everything. He became a less selfish player. He became a far better team player, and I think if you think back to the amount of goals that Stan Collymore actually created last season from wide areas, his delivery from left and right was absolutely phenomenal at times, and created not only goals but chance after chance for Robbie Fowler in particular. Thrived from playing alongside Stan Collymore.
But as a striker, somebody that thrives on goals, how difficult then is that to do? Because it must cost him in his own return, surely. Yeah, it does. I mean, I think there's a happy medium to get here. I think that it might be Collymore's season to score 30, Richard, and Fowler's season to score 20. And I don't particularly think either of them care, as long as they get that magical 50 between the two of them. You know, and I think that's the thing. And what sort of season for Steve McManaman? One of the stars of Euro 96, busy during the summer, obviously, as a result. Yeah. Have they, in general, had time to recover, and him in particular? Well,
I think only time will tell. I think at the beginning of the season, most of the people that have played Euro 96 will be up and flying. I do believe that, because they've still got a general level of fitness that people who have had 6 and 7, 8 weeks off haven't. So they may be stars at the beginning of the season. The big test will come around about January, February for the players who have played Euro 96. But first, Steve was voted maybe one of the top 10 players in Euro 96. Now what he's got to do this season, he had a great season last year, he had a great Euro 96, what he's got to do now is continue that. And I think what he can do, he can up his goal ratio. I think that'll be in his mind. He must think to himself, you know, for the chances that I get, for the positions I get myself in, I'd like to score a few more goals.
Will that number 7 be a burden?
It's a great number to wear. You look at Keegan, handed it to Dalglish, and they've handed it to McManaman. If he emulates half as much as those two great players, I think Steve McManaman will be well chuffed.
Arsenal's representatives have decided to keep a low profile tonight. But we can go to Anfield and hear from the Liverpool boss, Roy Evans.
Roy, the first home game of the new campaign, how much anticipation is there as you go into this one?
Well, I think there's great anticipation, not just, you know, from Liverpool people. Obviously, they think, you know, we've got a great chance, and the support we had last year and the support we expect to get this year will really give us a boost. But I think for the whole Premiership, there's anticipation.
You've made great strides over the last couple of years, but is this the year where you are expected to deliver?
Well, I think, you know, we've had a couple of decent years, and people have seen an improvement, and you know, they've enjoyed certainly the way we've played. But in the end, you've got to produce the goods, and this club's been known for winning trophies over the years, and I'm not saying the pressure's on to win something, but you know, the expectation is certainly there from both the staff, the players, and certainly the fans.
A lot to reflect on in the first game against Middlesbrough. Overall, pleased or disappointed? It was a terrific game, wasn't it?
Overall, I'm disappointed, I have to say that. But leading 3 times, and you know, we should have stayed in there and got the 3 points. OK, there's a decision or 2 went against us we weren't too pleased about. But generally the game was in our hands, and I think it was more a couple of points given away than a point gained.
And Arsenal tonight, Robbie Fowler going for yet another hat-trick against the Gunners.
Well, that's a lot to ask, but you know, Robbie will be up for it. He'll be obviously want to emulate the last few seasons. But as long as we can get all 3 points, it doesn't matter who scores them or who makes them, we'll get a good team effort.
Wish you luck. Thanks very much, Roy.
Cheers.
What did you read into the message from the Gunners at the weekend? They opened with a win over West Ham.
It didn't surprise me. I mean, I think they've got great resolve and great resilience, and never more so when their backs are against the wall. So this didn't surprise me. I think a stronger West Ham might well have tested them more, Richard. So it wasn't a bad fixture from that point of view. But this will only give them a shot of confidence. That's all it will do, and that's great. And what a goal to open with. John Hartson, 6 inches, take that. Even I could have scored that right foot. But this will have been a great shot in the arm from them, this win. And they'll come to Anfield a lot more confident than perhaps they were on Saturday morning before this game took place. But it's a great result for them. There's so much so that they can still afford to leave Ian Wright out of the side. And, I mean, that's a big decision for Stuart Howson to make.
He would normally have taken the penalties, of course, Ian Wright. This one was left to Dennis Bergkamp, who's been very vocal in his support of Bruce Rioch.
I think a lot of the players have been. I'm delighted to see that, because, I mean, I don't agree wholeheartedly with the way that Bruce Rioch was treated. I think there perhaps is a lot more than meets the eye, or we and the general public have seen there. But Bruce Rioch, I think, did a great job. You know, he took Arsenal in charge last year, Richard. The lowest that his team were during that season was 8th. And every weekend after that, they were above 8th. Now, I think if the new manager comes in and he has a season like that and is never below 8th in the league, he'll be pretty pleased. And Bruce took him to 5th.
And qualified for Europe.
Correct.
It must be said. And when you look through their lineup, of course, you start...
Yeah.
I mean, you've mentioned this tonight, you want a solid back line. Arsenal have David Seaman in goal.
Don't talk to me about David Seaman. I was at Wembley in the summer, and he faced a Gary McAllister spot kick and broke my heart, you big rat, you. But what a keeper he is, I tell you. A lot of respect for him, know him well, and he's a great professional. He is the best keeper in England, in my opinion, now. There was talk about Tim Flowers and others, and I think he's now, this summer, he went up to that other plane that you go to be a
during that
great,
tournament?
Yeah, to be a truly great international. And I think that's where he is now. He has that aura of a great player about him, of a great goalkeeper. He has that arrogance without being nasty about it. He's a confident lad. And
is it another example of a keeper growing into his best form at around about 30?
Yes. Yeah, I saw it happen with Neville Southall as well. And keepers throughout history have done that. And I think he's there now. He's up there with the best. There's no doubt about that. And
something of a character as well, if nothing else. It's,
and a good
it really
golfer.
Brought him out, didn't it?
And a good
golfer as well.
And a good golfer. Is there anything he isn't good at? That's what I want to know. But, you know...
Stopping Robbie Fowler score goals.
Yeah.
Right, the race for the Premiership then. The odds changed over the weekend. Manchester United odds on now, 11-10 on. Newcastle slipped out 7-2 with Liverpool. Where do you think it's going? Well,
much like last year, I think there are probably 6 teams. I don't know where it's going. I've tipped Newcastle. I thought they might just have learned. There's any team that finishes above Manchester United will win the title this year. I think that's obvious in the opening week of the season. So there's Manchester United, you've got your Newcastles. Liverpool, who finished 3rd, as Roy Evans knows, he's got to improve in that. So he's either got to finish runners-up or win the title. They'll be there or thereabouts. Aston Villa, my old club, I'm not so sure they can emulate what they did last year.
That was a good point George Graham made yesterday. To have a better season, they've got to finish above 4th and still win silverware. That's asking a lot, isn't it?
It is asking a lot, but... I mean, that's what you've got to do. When you're in jobs like that, you have to do that. And I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Tottenham, from the London area, to me, I mean, I, like George Graham yesterday, feel that Jerry has got a side there that Nick mentioned it to Roy. Is it time Liverpool have got to produce? I think it's maybe time Tottenham have got to produce in the league and have a real serious challenge. I think it might be this year. Chelsea, we don't know. I honestly don't know how Ruud Gullit is going to coax them, he's going to coach them, he's going to get them to play football. Will they be good enough? We don't know. Outside of that...
I was going to say, is it becoming more and more difficult to come out of the pack and challenge the big boys?
It is, but in saying that as well, I would have said up before this year it was really difficult. But what I think that the pack can do now, with the Bossman ruling, they can attract top quality players. Like Middlesbrough have attracted Ravanelli and Merson, £11 million. They can pay them the salaries now to attract great players from abroad to their sides. Now, if they can do that and attract enough of them, I think that there might just be a time for a team to jump out the pack. I mean, the other team that I haven't mentioned, and I think will have a real say somewhere, is the team who beat Newcastle at the weekend, and that's my old club, Everton. I think they have everything that we talked about yesterday. Solid at the back, good goalkeeper, solid at the back, good back four, horrible to play against. Joe's got them really working in midfield. And then, if Duncan Ferguson can have an injury-free season and a trouble-free season and play as well as he did on Saturday, Everton might just have a say in it as well.
It's 31 years since Liverpool lost their opening home fixture of the season. That is the size of the job facing Arsenal tonight. Anfield is our venue for our live Monday night football. Liverpool with their eye on the title. I say, Andy, it does look well, Anfield, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wish we were there.
Not half.
Oh, it looks even better now.
I didn't want to say anything. Monday night football from Anfield. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Let's go and join our match commentators, Trevor Francis, of course, and it's a very warm Monday night football welcome to our close season signing, Alan Parry. Are you looking forward to it, Alan?
I certainly am, and it really is a case of football coming home for me tonight, because this is where it all began for me, way back in the 60s, as one of Bill Shankly's Red Army. In fact, I can see where I used to stand out there on the Kop. There were no seats in those days, of course, just me and 20,000 other sweaty, swaying Scousers. I wanted to play up front with Billy Liddell in those days, or be the fifth Beatle or something like that, but as you know, I've ended up here in the commentary box. And you know, there's only one thing that hasn't changed from those days. You couldn't get anywhere near a toilet when you're on the Kop, and you have to keep your legs crossed up here on the gantry as well. So some things in life don't make progress. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get down to business and have a look at tonight's teams, beginning, of course, with Liverpool. They stick with the side that drew at Middlesbrough on Saturday. Dominic Matteo keeping his place at centre-back in preference to Neil Ruddock, who isn't fully fit. In fact, Ruddock is one of no fewer than 7 potential first-teamers carrying injuries at the moment. No problems in attack, though. The double act of Fowler and Collymore, 55 goals between them last season in partnership again.
Yes, you mentioned the injury problems, Alan, without Scales, without Redknapp. But one player they do welcome back is Bjørnebye, and I think he'll give them a better balance on that left-hand side. He's got an excellent left foot, provided one of the goals on Saturday at Middlesbrough for Fowler. I'm sure the front two that you mentioned, Collymore and Fowler, will welcome the return of him.
Well, Arsenal are fielding the same 11 who beat West Ham on Saturday. Tony Adams is a long-term absentee through injury, but otherwise it's the old familiar Arsenal defence. David Platt is missing from midfield, though. He has a back problem, and Stephen Morrow deputises for him. John Hartson is in as the main striker because Ian Wright isn't fully fit. In fact, he's on the bench.
Well, defensively, it's a similar-looking line-up to Liverpool, but in the attack, it's slightly different. Whereas Liverpool have got the front two of Collymore and Fowler, you see there just John Hartson, but I'm sure he'll be well supported from Merson and Bergkamp. Whenever it's possible, they'll get forward and support him.
Well, the new campaign greeted with great enthusiasm by fans everywhere, especially here on Merseyside, where they regard summer as something of an unnecessary interruption between football seasons. You don't find too many cricketers coming from this part of the world. A long waiting list for season tickets at Anfield, and in fact there are plans to increase the capacity eventually to around 45,000 seats when they add a new stand at the Anfield Road end away to the left there. That'll happen sometime next year. A beautiful setting. One of the venues, of course, for the European Championships in the summer. And indeed, Liverpool had a letter of commendation from UEFA for the way they organised so brilliantly the matches that were played here. Third in the table last season, a long way behind Manchester United and Newcastle in the end. But they gave both of them a real run for their money over the last 4 months of the season. Anfield as formidable as ever. They were beaten just once here in 19 Premiership games last season, and you've got to whisper it quietly in these parts. The only team to win here in the league was Everton. Trevor, not quite as formidable, I think, as in the days I was talking about when we used to stand on the Kop, but it's still an awesome sight.
Yes, it's always difficult to get a result here. I think Roy Evans was bitterly disappointed last year. He was actually saying that some of the players underachieved. In his programme notes tonight, he points to the fact that November was a very, very bad month for them. If they had not done so badly in that month, he feels they'd have been up there challenging at the end with Newcastle and Manchester United.
We shouldn't talk through the national anthem, of course, which this song is as far as Liverpool fans are concerned. There's the peek behind the scenes. And the famous tunnel with the even more famous "This is Anfield" sign above it. Most of these players, including the opposition, of course, have been here before, but I still think it sends a little shiver down the spine when you step out at Anfield. You can hear the roar as the teams hit the field. So we're all set for Anfield's big kick-off. The two most successful clubs in the history of the English Championship. It's Liverpool against Arsenal. Don't miss it.
Deutsche Ingenieure stellen tolle Reifen her. aber miese Dachterrassen. Continental Tires, German engineering where you need it most on a car.
Isn't it strange? For years we've demonstrated how to create the perfect mint with pure white smoothness, sublime shape, and the refreshing cool air supplied by the whole. And yet other mints still model themselves on the bit Polo remove. Polo, the classic mint.
Past him. Did you see Charles at the weekend?
Yes. Played 18 holes at Wood Park. Swab, please.
Ah, this looks more complicated than we thought.
Yes. We're going to be seeing rather a lot of this chap.
I hope he's got an understanding boss. Did you win?
Yes. It's close until the 30th.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Let's face the music and dance.
How's he doing?
He's comfortable.
You needn't worry if your life changes. Allied Dunbar Financial Plans adapt to help you cope with the unexpected. Allied Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
September on Sky Sports. Glenn Hoddle starts as the New England manager against Moldova. As a new World Cup campaign begins. There's the finale to the Super League.
Feel the power.
The Premiership final closes the season.
And this is what it's all about!
Team golf comes to the fore. The USA defend the President's Cup against the star-filled international side, while Europe's women golfers aim to win back the Solheim Cup from the Americans. New seasons begin for the British Basketball League and Ice Hockey Super League. To New York for the final week of the US Open, while sports silent supremos regroup for the Scottish Masters.
Amazing! Absolutely amazing!
And to cap it all, the Coca-Cola Cup really gets going in England and Scotland.
Watch this!
Sky Sports is going flat out in September. Sky Sports with Ford takes you to the heart.
It's Anfield tonight, Liverpool against Arsenal on the Monday Night Football. Our match commentators Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Well, between them, Liverpool and Arsenal have been champions of England an incredible 28 times, a record that no other clubs in the land can match. And this has long been regarded as one of the season's major clashes. It's refereed tonight by Gary Willard from Worthing. Liverpool, all in red of course, will start the match attacking the Kop end. And huge applause for David Seaman as he takes his place behind that famous stand. So Liverpool, in their usual understated manner, confident they can mount a genuine challenge for the championship this season. Arsenal, though, thrown into disarray by the sacking of their manager before a ball had been kicked. I wonder what the next 9 months holds in store for these two famous clubs. First mistake there by Matteo, and Wright also giving the ball straight to Arsenal. Uncharacteristically nervous start by the Liverpool defenders. Babb to the rescue.
It's interesting, Alan, that Arsenal won the toss and they elected to defend the Kop, much to the annoyance of some of the supporters at the Kop end. But I think that's common procedure here. Any away captain would always choose to do that.
McAteer, such a success in his first season in the right wing-back role. Another Scouser come home, although he had to find his way to Anfield via Bolton Wanderers. Matteo almost caught in possession there by Hartson. And Arsenal have made a positive start here. The captain, Keown. Straight to Thomas, though. Fowler gets his first touch. His partner up front, Collymore, big and strong as ever. McManaman just offside. Howls of derision from Anfield as the linesman, and I'm never going to get in the habit of calling them anything other than linesman, raised his flag. Seaman a long way from goal. He had to be sure he was going to be accurate with that free kick. Full ball by Linighan. Liverpool have possession again. You can't afford to gift it to them too often. They're pretty good at keeping it. And here's the man who gives them breathing space so often, John Barnes, outstanding at Middlesbrough on Saturday. Just guarding the ball out of play. Consistent season for Liverpool last year. Dixon making sure that everyone in the Arsenal back five as it is gets an early touch of the ball here. But Hartson's misdirected header gives Liverpool possession again. Quickly taken free kick, the Liverpool trademark by Barnes, sending McManaman forward. Good interception by Winterburn though. Tenth season now at Anfield for John Barnes, 32, and wants to finish his career here. Build slowly and patiently and then launch the long ball when it's on to McAteer. Good header. Gets it back from Collymore. Fowler making a run in the penalty area. Winterburn's deflection. First corner to Liverpool.
Yes, you mentioned it's a good header. It was an absolutely brilliant header. Not many players out-jump Steve Bould, and that's what Jason McAteer did.
Not a part of his game you normally associate as a great strength, McAteer, but he towered above the Arsenal man then. Thought about a short kick. I think they'll launch it long instead. Babb and Wright, far edge of the area. It's Wright climbing high. That's another corner. Bjørnebye's cross, and it's a good one. Seaman, unusually for him, was caught in an indecisive mood. Wright goes in with a header, and Seaman with a good catch right under the bar. Big man, of course, an imposing figure, and not fazed by his initial error.
It was an excellent ball in from Thomas. Liverpool got the 2-on-1 situation. Arsenal only sent Parlour out.
Got the touch on, but the whistle had already gone. Free kick to Liverpool. Barnes. McManaman. Crowd willing him to go forward. Always a buzz of excitement when he gets possession. And here's McAteer. Pulled it back. And a little clever flick by McManaman. Almost wrong-footed Seaman. McManaman's there again. Winterburn. Merson being challenged by Matteo, being fouled by the Liverpool man. In fact, free kick Arsenal.
Typical McManaman run, great pace. McAteer, low cross, little flick, comfortable save for Seaman, but a terrific break from McManaman. I wondered if he was going to be detailed to be marked by somebody, but it doesn't appear so.
Great clearing header there by Babb. Now Thomas. Back from Bjørnebye. A bit optimistic for Fowler, way over his head. But Robbie Fowler, clearly a man that Arsenal will be very apprehensive about tonight. As you heard, hat-tricks in his last 2 games against Arsenal here. In fact, the first of them was scored in the space of 4.5 minutes, the fastest hat-trick ever in the Premiership. Hartson's header just behind Merson, cleared with difficulty by Wright. And McManaman again finds himself in space. That's something Arsenal must be aware of, surely. Plays it in, and the shot on the turn coming in from Collymore on the left. It wasn't far wide.
Well, undoubtedly McManaman's the danger, isn't he, tonight? Great sweeping move, first time shot. But the pace of that attack, Alan. Within 5 seconds they've gone, got the shot in on goal. I really do feel that if Arsenal want to stay in this game early on, they've got to perhaps change in midfield. Because at the moment you've got Thomas, Barnes, McManaman, 3 against the 2 of Morrow and Parlour.
McAteer with a real old-fashioned up and under. Collymore will pursue it all the way. And very, very calm defending by Andy Linighan. A long run in the team at the back end of last season when Tony Adams and Steve Bould were both injured. Bergkamp. Wright just nicking the ball away as Merson threatened down Arsenal's left. If he chooses to, Winterburn can deliver a long throw. Hartson, an obvious target, goes short to Merson this time. Now he looks for Hartson. And it was Bergkamp in the end who let it. Play here for Holland, of course, in the European Championships, in the quarter-final, in fact, here against France, which they lost on penalties.
It's interesting when you look at the tactics of the 2 sides, because I mentioned in midfield that Arsenal were being outnumbered 3-2, but quite surprisingly up front I felt it was just going to be John Hartson. In fact, Arsenal are playing with 3 up. Merson and Bergkamp are virtually playing as out-and-out strikers.
Yes, it's certainly a different Arsenal system to the one they employed against an understrength West Ham and Highbury on Saturday. I think they feel that with Liverpool committed to 3 centre-backs to occupy them, Arsenal bold enough to try 3 out-and-out attackers.
The key to the game is, can they keep McManaman quiet?
Here he is. Collymore knew exactly what was going on then. It was great awareness by Collymore. Bould coming in behind him. He didn't come off in the end, but it was very clever play. Known for his strength and power, but a little bit of subtlety shown then. Against Hartson. Barnes, as ever, the key to things in midfield for Liverpool, always available. The old Liverpool style of pass the ball and then run into a position to get it back again, as Babb has done here. Fowler in the middle, Seaman never really blinked an eyelid. Bergkamp by McManaman. 2 men, of course, who faced each other in the European Championships. McManaman started all 5 games for England.
Have a little bit of skill there from Bergkamp. Perhaps McManaman a little bit fortunate, get away with the booking.
Parlour with a glorious ball out to well, the intended target. Dixon never reached it. It was well read by Bjørnebye. Thomas. McManaman. How does he keep finding so much room in the middle? That must be concerning Arsenal. There were thoughts that maybe Steve Morrow might be detailed to mark McManaman closely. That has not happened early on here, and maybe it's something that Stuart Houston and Pat Rice will reconsider, Trevor.
Well, undoubtedly at the moment, as you mentioned, Alan, he's getting far too much space, but he will do. If numerically they got 3 against 2, he's going to be the one that they're going to find. They pass the ball so well, he's the man they're always searching out.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Straight away from Matteo, and that was enough by the Liverpool defender to force Hartson's error. Welsh international, who scored the opening goal against West Ham at Highbury on Saturday. He managed only 5 goals in 23 games last season. Didn't really get on with the departed Rioch. And that's a strange ball by him. It's given Fowler the ideal opening here, and he's wasted it. McAteer. Barnes to Fowler. He deserved the applause for that initial bit of skill, but just crowded out in the end. Winterburn finds Parlour. Hartson takes it off him. And where's he going? Rather better this time than his previous attempted clearance. He's only 21 still, John Hartson. They signed him from Luton 18 months ago, and he hasn't had too many opportunities. Ian Wright, remember, amongst the Arsenal substitutes tonight. He's not probably match fit. And Liverpool have conceded a free kick in a rather dangerous position here. A foul by Matteo on Hartson. Just 22, Dominic Matteo, and only 20-odd games in Liverpool's first team. Linighan and Bould join Hartson on the edge of the Liverpool box. Excellent clearing header by John Barnes, of all people. Winterburn. Well, McManaman had a bit of help there from McAteer. And Liverpool's patience paid off. Bjørnebye. Linighan hits it long, and it might turn out to be a decent ball for Hartson. He's got in behind Wright, and the referee points to a goal kick, to the huge relief of Mark Wright and the assembled Liverpool fans. The Arsenal supporters screamed optimistically penalty when he went down.
Well, he certainly did well here, John Hartson. He wasn't favourite, but he made that ball used his strength, got in front of Wright. Was it a foul? No, I don't think it was intentional, but he certainly did well to get in front of Mark Wright.
Liverpool were denied a penalty themselves that they felt they should have had for a not dissimilar incident involving John Barnes at Middlesbrough on Saturday. They do say it all evens out. Collymore's header. Fowler beaten to it by Keown. Over Babb's head, but not Matteo's. However, Merson causes him a problem and wins a corner. And Matteo at the moment seems to be the defender that Arsenal are concentrating on. It's inevitable, of course, as the least experienced of the Liverpool back players.
Yes, what they're doing, Arsenal, is from all Dave Seaman's kickouts, they're pushing the 3 forward. And up to now, Liverpool have not dominated in the air.
And they'll need to hear they're fully aware of the danger from Arsenal at set pieces. Again, it was the captain, Barnes, who got them out of trouble. clearance. Dixon underneath it. Bould still forward from the original corner. And now McAteer for Liverpool. Collymore. That's a foul. Indeed, the referee reaches for his pocket, and it's the first yellow card. Andy Linighan.
Clever bit of skill from Stan Collymore. No doubt about that. Linighan apologises, but I think he knows a tackle from behind. The result normally is a booking.
A real dilemma, I guess, for defenders faced with Collymore. If you let him turn, he's got the pace and the power, of course, to outrun most. So if you keep tight, there's always a danger of fouling. McAteer plays one in quickly, and the whistle is gone for offside against Robbie Fowler, who reacts rather angrily and would be well advised not to do that too often.
Yes, he shouldn't get caught offside there. He should be looking across the line. Yeah, possibly a yard offside.
Hartson's winning a lot of headers, but Wright wins this one for Liverpool. That's good play by Matteo. And David James, I think a little fortunately, either that or it was a superb ball, found Thomas straight away. Arsenal are really pressurising Liverpool in possession, not giving them room, with the exception of the space that McManaman's managing to find. And even the Liverpool defenders are not finding it easy. Arsenal pushing up on them all the time and trying to deny them easy possession. Now McManaman. McAteer making the overlap, and that took the defender away. Straight his way off from Fowler, but it's found a target. Thomas. McManaman again, you believe he's the man who can open things up, but not with a ball like that, he won't. Except for Arsenal. Now McManaman again. Collymore. He's got a man to his left. I don't think he's aware of him at the moment.
No, he chose the wrong option, didn't he? They had a great situation there, Liverpool, 2-on-1. If only Collymore had spotted Fowler just to his left. Chose to go right and really runs out of space. He's going further and further away. The angle's getting worse, and he can't produce a ball.
Stan Collymore saying that this is the biggest season of his career. He scored 19 goals in his first season here, 14 of them in the league. He's beaten to it by Bould and made a back for the defender. Free kick to Arsenal. Liverpool with an excellent record here against Arsenal. Just 3 defeats in their last 21 meetings at Anfield. Bergkamp, not seen very much of him yet. He's not properly fit because he missed about a week or so of pre-season training. Merson finds him with an excellent ball, though, and Hartson did well to dummy the opportunity. And another chance for Parlour, and in the end, you don't get 2 bites at the cherry with the Liverpool defence.
No, that was an excellent chance. It's a brilliant ball from Merson. He picks out Bergkamp. Little nod down. The control had been better. He would have got the shot in. Parlour tries the shot, but it's well blocked from Babb.
Hasn't scored for 2.5 years. Fowler, alive to the danger. McAteer with a good early ball in, dealt with very well, though, by Bould. Thomas. Here he is again, McManaman. And again, Bould strong for Arsenal.
I'm sure all Arsenal supporters are saying at this moment that's the type of chance that fell to John Hartson that Ian Wright would have relished.
Collymore trying to angle it to Fowler, but hasn't quite got the range yet. Still wearing the old breathe better nose plaster, despite the fact that scientists at the Liverpool University of all have said that they make no difference whatsoever.
Can I take mine off then?
I thought you had it across your mouth, actually. I was going to mention that. Here's Thomas. Unfortunately, they don't make nose plasters big enough for mine, so... Here's McManaman. Easy bit of cleaning up by Parlour. And here he is again. Merson finding space, a la McManaman. That was almost an excellent ball inside the defender, but Wright was clever enough to see the danger. Here's Thomas, former Arsenal man, of course, who scored an infamous goal to lift the championship for Arsenal here. Collymore offside in that attack. Thomas has now signed a new contract at Liverpool after considering a move to Italy during the summer. And as I say, his goal won the championship for Arsenal here in season 88-89. I think he's been forgiven on Merseyside. Midway through the half then, no goals and only one genuine opening really, but there might be another on the way. McManaman, Fowler and Collymore in support. Played it very early, McManaman. Good defending by Arsenal.
But it was another ideal situation for Liverpool. Just leave it there
to Thomas though, just to interrupt as Winterburn gave the ball away. Sorry, Trevor.
No, I was saying they should have exploited that situation, Liverpool, once again. They were 2-on-1 in the back post, but McManaman couldn't get the ball over.
Hartson takes on Babb. Lost him well. Corner. Powerful lad, isn't he?
He's very, very strong. He uses his upper body strength excellently. And of course, there's always a threat in the air. I mentioned before the game that against Matteo could be a problem to Liverpool. And this could be a problem, of course, because Arsenal have become famous over the years for exploiting the near post flick on. Big Bould's gone there. He's always a threat. If the ball is played in that area, it's very, very difficult for any defender to deal with. It all depends now on the delivery from Merson.
And again, Liverpool equal to the threat. Dixon plays it straight back again to Merson on the right. Liverpool forcing Arsenal back, but they've kept possession with Bergkamp. And the Dutch international loses his man beautifully. Great individual skill by Bergkamp.
Well, that was fantastic skill, wasn't it, from Bergkamp? Lovely little flick over Wright. Gets closed down over the McAteer. It's Matteo that deflects it. I don't think it would have gone in. A wonderful bit of individual skill from Dennis Bergkamp.
And the Arsenal fans, a fair few of them behind that goal, certainly enjoyed that. Easy catch though from the resulting corner. David James supremely confident. The only Liverpool player, in fact, last season who was voted the best in his position by his fellow professionals. And that's some tribute when you consider, apart from anything else or anybody else, we've got David Seaman at the other end of the field. Fowler's lost out. Parlour. Bergkamp. Fowler getting into a good position again, and Wright with a very important interception. And Arsenal certainly posing a few problems to Liverpool at the moment. Looks a pretty even contest at the moment, Trev.
I would think that Roy Evans is particularly disturbed about the way the three at the back are playing. You know, when you look at the three compared to what they had last season, they don't look a settled formation, do they? You know, some say perhaps Riddick should be in. I think undoubtedly they miss Scales.
There's a long injury list at Anfield, but no one has any sympathy for that. And you spend millions of pounds, and you've got the setup that Liverpool will have. And Liverpool don't expect any sympathy, of course. Fowler playing it on, looking for Collymore. Interception by Linighan. Morrow caught by Thomas. And here's Merson. And Arsenal every bit as good as the home side at the moment. Offside, though. The linesman's flag has gone up. It wouldn't have counted if Hartson had got a strike on target then.
Once again, another excellent move. Bergkamp involved, and it's Merson again. Great vision. It's tight. I think the linesman's just about got it right, has he? I'm not sure. It was very, very tight.
McAteer for Liverpool. McManaman peels to the right. He finds Collymore down the middle. Danger here for Arsenal.
Well, I'm surprised Fowler didn't react a little bit quicker to that. It's the only place really Collymore could put it. He elected to stay at the far post. He should have made a run across the face of the near post.
Parlour opens things up with an intelligent ball to Dixon, always available down that right-hand side. Keown's got ahead of him here. Thomas. And now Barnes. Great skill by John Barnes. That turned a few pages back, didn't it? McAteer. Will even get to Collymore, who always feels he can score no matter what the distance or angle. Thomas. And now McManaman. 4 players ahead of him. With a return ball by Barnes, who's a little untidy. Now Fowler. Now Arsenal are confident that's going to be a goal kick. And they're wrong, it's a corner. The Arsenal players turn their backs and misread the deflection.
Well, the last corner, they got 2-on-1 situation. This time they're not looking to play the short one.
Bjørnebye's corner. Easily met by Keown, the Arsenal captain. Thomas. Ooh, the deflection was a problem, possibly for Seaman. It's only a corner, though.
Yeah, it could have been a problem. I think it was deflected off Linighan, but I think Seaman's got it well covered. It is Linighan. He comes to close it down. No, in fact, it's not. I think it's John Hartson. That's right.
Dixon it was who got it clear this time. And a little nudge there by Wright. Who, me? Yes, you. Arsenal relieved. They've got a free kick.
I think the fact that it was Hartson who actually blocked that just epitomises the way that Arsenal are working in this opening 28 minutes. They really worked hard. They closed the ball whenever possible, denied Liverpool space. And whenever Liverpool have got in good attacking situations, they've looked for the 1-2s. But they've got so many bodies back there, Al, that it's very, very difficult for Liverpool to try and break through.
Huge ironic cheer there, because David Seaman, of all people, Mr. Unflappable, shelled a free kick straight into the crowd. There's Barnes. Fowler. Now Collymore. Oh, lovely skill by Collymore. Another deflection, and another Liverpool corner. They're just beginning to turn up the heat a little. An appropriate phrase, because about an hour before kick-off, it must have still been in the 80s here. I still talk in old-fashioned Fahrenheit, but you know what I mean. McManaman. He'll fancy taking people on. Bjørnebye gets the cross in, and Babb is up there. Unlucky. Never actually scored yet for Liverpool in his 2 previous seasons here.
Once again, Liverpool worked the corner very well. 2-on-1 situation. It's Babb who gets the final touch. With an excellent ball in from Bjørnebye to the back post. Babb out jumps Hartson. He can't quite direct his header on target.
Doing well. Here's Thomas. Babb. Bjørnebye out to his left. Collymore and Fowler down the centre. Good discipline, tight marking by Arsenal. Very few options for Liverpool. Morrow under a bit of pressure there, and the free kick's gone against it. Quickly taken to Collymore. Very good sense, the anticipation from the crowd, but the shot well off target.
Well, that was bright, inventive play there from Barnes. Quickly got his hand on the ball, released it to Collymore, gives him a shooting opportunity. As you can see, it's quite wayward.
Well, this is some season coming up here on Sky. The Coca-Cola Cup Live is the latest addition to the package, and tomorrow night we kick off at the County Ground in Wiltshire with Swindon against Wolves, live. Sunday afternoons, Monday nights, the Premiership diet, of course, and the Nationwide League on Fridays and Sundays as well, as part of the package of top-class football available on Sky Television this season. The England internationals as well. Good play by Thomas to dispossess Bergkamp. Now Barnes, and a little bit of a foul there by Bergkamp as the ball was played away. The referee saw it and wants to have a word with him about this. Not sure there was any real intent. I think it was just an accident.
Frustration, I should say, at losing possession, probably.
Good football by Arsenal. Excellent stuff. Winterburn. And McAteer, perhaps a bit fortunate to escape a yellow card for that. A deliberate trip.
Good close skills there from Winterburn, tight to the line. No attempt from McAteer. Lucky there not to go in the book.
And Arsenal have settled into this match with real confidence. They're playing with some style, defending well, which you expect from them, but looking good going forward as well. Collymore just feeling for where the defender was, and he's lost Keown. Liverpool's throw. I think he felt that Keown had a little stab at him then, but in fact, even worse news for him, the throw's gone Arsenal's way.
Yes, he was held back, wasn't he? I think the referee was trying to play the advantage rule, and Collymore took the ball out to give the throw in for Arsenal.
McAteer. McManaman points to where he wants it and gets it on a plate. And gets a corner, I think, yes.
Once again, Bjørnebye comes over from his left-back position to take this. Another short one.
McManaman. McAteer. Keown's clearance. No real conviction in that effort from Michael Thomas. Only scored a couple of goals last season. Well, it is expected that tomorrow Arsenal will officially reveal the worst-kept secret in British football, that Arsene Wenger is going to take over as their manager, probably, I gather, towards the end of September. And before then, Stuart Houston there on the left and Pat Rice will continue in charge. Two very capable men themselves. And let us hope that whatever managerial changes take place don't jeopardise their future. And let us also hope that Arsenal return to the dignity and honour and style that we've always associated that famous club with, rather than the rather tatty way in which they disposed of their manager before the season had even started. It's left a rather unpleasant taste, I think, in the mouths of everyone associated with this great club. Here's Fowler. Barnes. McManaman. Liverpool keep the flow moving. The sort of football that's honed on the Melwood training ground. And Bjørnebye make the telling cross. Well, Arsenal stayed patient. Now they have possession themselves with Dennis Bergkamp. They do well to beat Babb for pace. However, that is adjudged to have obstructed him. Optimistic this, Trev. Trying to get round him like that.
Yeah, but Bergkamp's not the slowest. I think he would have got past him there if he hadn't obstructed him. He could see the space in behind, did the right thing, just pushed the ball in there, into the grass behind. And Babb knew he was beaten.
McAteer. Ooh, that looked dangerous. Or supremely confident, depending on your outlook. Here's McManaman. Crowd wanting to keep going. He finds McAteer. Collymore was on the near post. It was a very tight angle, and he did well to make any kind of contact.
What a great surging run that was from McManaman initially, and then McAteer. McAteer must have ran all of 80 yards there to link up with McManaman. And this time it is Bjørnebye who's going to flight it in with his left foot, pace the near post.
Babb getting up, Wright coming in behind him, and he almost made telling contact then. Would have gone in off the studs, but who cares?
Wasn't near post, in fact, it was to the far post looking for Wright. But they have been reluctant to put balls into the box direct from corners. I think they feel that they're playing to Arsenal's strengths. They've got such good power in the air, Arsenal, that they've tried many 1-2s, trying to draw as many Arsenal players out as possible.
Well, I don't think anyone at Liverpool will need reminding that no team conceded fewer goals away from home last season than Arsenal. Just 16 against in 19 Premiership matches. It's a remarkable record, and it has long been Arsenal's strength. And for all Liverpool's attempts so far, the scoreline remains blank. Fowler, Collymore.
I don't think either keeper, Alan, have made a save, have they yet?
That's true. McManaman. Brilliant stuff from McManaman. And it was Merson who came back to cut down the space and concede the corner. 7 minutes to half-time.
Once again, they're looking to try and get the 2-on-1 situation, but Arsenal are alive to it, and it's forcing Bjørnebye to put this ball into the box.
Again, right at the target. What a superb catch that was by David Seaman. Look at it. I think he's just been taking the dog for a walk. He is so calm, this fellow. What a massive influence he must be over defenders. Bergkamp gets there ahead of Matteo. No foul. Bergkamp expecting the free kick. A lovely quick feet there from McManaman to deceive Morrow. But McAteer couldn't return it to him. Now, Parlour. Merson tries to open things up. And a pretty good ball it was too. Bergkamp. Support arrives from Dixon, but that was sloppy, unlike him. John Barnes for Liverpool. Fowler. Well, the intention was McManaman, who was totally unmarked on the right, but the delivery was poor. Where we're sitting, we can hear the Liverpool bench shouting to their players, press it, getting their players encouraged to get on the toes of these Arsenal men and not allow them possession, and that's exactly why they had to go all the way back to their goalkeeper.
They've actually grown in confidence, the Arsenal lads, as the game's progressed. I found at the start, mainly the defenders were just giving the ball away cheaply, but they're now keeping it very well.
Good 1-2 there between Matteo and the referee. But it's Arsenal who profited, not for long. Wright just stood his ground against Hartson. Here's McManaman. Fowler. Great ball. Collymore. Barnes is in a great position in the middle if he delivers the cross early. Well, he did that, but it was deflected behind. Another Liverpool corner.
Yes, Barnes made up a lot of ground to get forward to support. Collymore just couldn't quite get it around Keown. Good defender from Keown, made sure the cross didn't come in. Did a good job defensively for his team.
Umpteen corners for Liverpool, nothing to show as yet. Well, not from this one either, not yet anyway. Thomas. Babb still forward from the earlier corner. But plenty of people filling the gap he's left behind. McAteer on this occasion. And again hitting a bit of a stalemate in the middle at the moment. But enough striking talent out there for that situation not to last too long. Here's Fowler, one man who can certainly change things. However, McManaman straight into an offside position. The referee's seen it, but allowed play to go on with Bergkamp. What a ball that was by Bergkamp. Dixon on the end of it. Well, Dixon's run about 80 yards there, and now there's a big gap left behind. Well, Liverpool can't instantly anyway exploit it. Perhaps they can now. Collymore. You always feel something's going to happen when he's in possession. But that was tame.
Some of the passing from Arsenal in this game has been superb. Merson's been involved in everything, Alan. And that was a brilliant ball from Bergkamp. Look at that crossfield ball, inch perfect, spotted Dixon making the overlap.
Liverpool in a bit of trouble again here. But Thomas gets them out of danger. Now getting a bit impatient, but it's the Liverpool style not to welly it. They want to play out of danger, and they knew what they were doing. Thomas puts it long for McManaman, and that's very, very calm defending again, messes Winterburn and Bould.
Yes, there haven't been too many occasions in this first 45 minutes where the Liverpool lads have got in behind the Arsenal rear guard. They're forcing Fowler and Collymore to come deeper and deeper, looking for it to feet. And they won't mind that too much, the Arsenal defensive three. They're doing an excellent job.
A wrestling match there involving Bergkamp and Babb. He smiles, but he's got no free kick. And McManaman is offside here.
Well, I'd really like to see that again. I thought McManaman timed his run to perfection. Let's have a look at it. I think he's onside. You see the last man there, is it Winterburn trying to come up to play him offside?
He's well onside, isn't he?
As it's played, he's definitely onside.
Well, the heat linesman at Anfield, so he's only allowed one deliberate mistake. That was it. Hartson beaten by Wright, but Merson onto the loose ball. Now Winterburn. Hartson, Wright again, shared tight to him. Oh, he's done well, Hartson. Oh, complete miskick there by Babb as he took his eye off the ball. He's got away with it for the moment, but now Hartson comes in and the free kick's gone. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Hartson has a word or two, not very polite, I suspect, with a Liverpool player rather than the referee.
Well, he does his best to find Bergkamp. Babb completely missed kicks. This is a great ball, this from Bergkamp. Flies into the back post.
Clever bit of defending by Matteo, although it didn't matter in the end, but he wasn't to know that.
I think it was McAteer, wasn't it, Alan?
Anyway, we have reached half-time, and the standard of defending by both teams has been such that we have got to the interval with no goals to show. Bergkamp's skills have certainly enlightened things from time to time, and McManaman has been a riot down the right and down the middle for Liverpool. But at half-time, it's Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0.
In a distant corner of our galaxy is a world where time and space collide.
Every ship which has approached has either been destroyed or severely damaged.
And two generations will meet.
You're a Starfleet officer. You have a duty. I don't need to be lectured by you.
To save the universe.
The star is going to collapse in a matter of minutes.
It'll destroy everything in this system.
Patrick Stewart, William Shatner, and Malcolm McDowell.
I have an appointment with eternity, and I don't want to be late.
The premiere of Star Trek Generations, 8 o'clock Thursday on Sky Movies.
It's called Half and Half. An eloquent testament to the simplicity of modern purchase. It's saying you only pay for half, yet you drive an entire brand new Ford today. And this says you don't pay the other half for 2 years, or you return the car. And yet, in between, and so simple, it's brilliant, is nothing. Huh? Nothing. No interest, no repayments. I love it for its accessibility.
Half and Half. Now viewing at your Ford dealer.
Men, you only think about one thing. It's the most natural instinct. Sometimes the most uncontrollable passion. And when that passion stirs, every sensible man knows what he must wear. Puma King.
Jonesy, get your kit on.
Serious stunts.
Every time you start your car from cold, it takes a while for your engine to get full protection from its oil. Metal grinds against metal. The damage is permanent. Castrol GTX Magnatech works differently. Unique polarized molecules cling like a magnet, dramatically reducing engine wear. Protect from the moment you turn the key with GTX Magnatech, the new oil from Castrol.
Rock the planet. The world's greatest rock artists unite for the planet. 33 classic tracks, including R.E.M., Pink Floyd, Genesis, and U2. Plus Sting, The Cranberries, and Peter Gabriel. Rock the Planet. Out now on special price double CD and cassette.
Look at his little face. Nature, Jeff. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, love.
You can almost reach out and touch them. Yes, come on then, come on.
Broken or chipped windscreen? Just call Autoglass. We'll come to you and fix it on the spot, wherever you are. In fact, we'll take care of everything, even your insurance company.
Sometimes they look so human.
For car glass, automatically think Autoglass.
This is Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain. You can't miss it. It comes in a tin with Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain on it. It protects and it's rainproof in about 30 minutes, which means in about 30 minutes, your wood's rainproof and protected. So if you've got wood to stain and you want it to dry quickly, use Runsil Quick Dry and Wood Stain. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
And those are the half-time scores.
If your Littlewood score draw has come up at half-time, you could now win £250,000 for no extra charge.
The teas and pies are on me!
Littlewood's pools get a result.
Orange believe you shouldn't be rushed into anything, which is why we offer a 14-day money-back guarantee. The future's bright. The future's orange.
Surprised that we haven't seen a goal yet?
Not really. I think we all expected, well, I certainly expected Liverpool to dominate possession. I don't think that fact surprises me. I also expected Arsenal to defend well, be disciplined, be everything that we would expect from an Arsenal side. Hard to play against. The midfield have worked particularly hard to protect the back unit, and the back unit in itself has worked really hard to keep Collymore, Fowler, and apart from a 5 or 10 minute spell, McManaman fairly quiet, and I think that Stuart Houston will be absolutely delighted at half-time going to 0-0, and they had a little spell themselves, Arsenal, when they caused Liverpool 1 or 2 problems.
We've talked a lot this weekend about the foreigners new to our game. One of the veterans, I suppose, if you like, is Dennis Bergkamp, who's out there for Arsenal tonight. And what about this for a moment? 2
great pieces of skill here, and totally different. This is all about confidence, ability, so aware of people around them, and yet what people don't realise at times, you've got to be so aware. You're always looking for players coming in at angles, but you've got to concentrate so much on the ball as well, and he did all that. And this is just great vision. There's not many people. You and I looked at Frank Leboeuf a little earlier playing passes like that. But that's as good as, if not better, than anything Leboeuf produced yesterday. Perfectly weighted. It's just the cross isn't quite caught right by Lee Dixon, but what a run from him. I'm no surprised he stayed down. Get his breath back after that.
Chances have been few and far between, so when they come, they need to be taken. Arsenal's best moment fell to John Hartson. Should he have done better?
His touch let him down, but yes, he should have done better. Again, Bergkamp's involved, and it breaks down, but they eventually force it out wide. But I do think that this is, in a game of this magnitude, and it is a big game between 2 great English clubs, that these chances have got to be taken. That's a beautifully flighted pass, and good awareness as it's knocked back down. And Matteo misses it. Now there, that's where any touch at all, any touch, would have given him a shooting opportunity. As soon as he didn't make contact with the ball, the chance was lost, but that was a really good chance.
So often last season, McAteer was a creator for Liverpool. Here he shows both sides to his game.
Oh, he shows great skill. Right here, look at this. The old Johan Cruyff pullback. That's brilliant skill. That's Nigel Winterburn with him, who suddenly loses his footing a bit. I mean, this pass, I think it's Dominic Matteo plays here. I mean, the manager left kittens, Richard. I'm thinking, go and club it, club it. Look at Mark Wright saying, put it over the top. And he threads it through the 18-yard box and gets away with it. Such confidence. And then you're thinking, oh, good build-up. Here he goes, go and run at him. And you're less worried when McManaman's running from these. But who's that popping up at the bottom of the screen? What energy, what drive, what desire from a player to get forward and create something. Jason McAteer has given McManaman the option he wanted. And that's a decent ball in, but look at that again, Arsenal. 2 defenders, full of experience, know where the danger area is, and just sweep it up.
No goals yet at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0 on the Monday Night Football, here on Sky Sports 1. More when we come back.
People, he's going to be nasty, he's going to compete for everything, he's going to make defenders hurry, and this is finely balanced. I mean, normally I'd be betting, and before the game I fancied Liverpool quite strongly. I'm not so sure now.
You wouldn't change anything if you were Arsenal. What would you change then, perhaps, if you were Roy Evans?
There's not a lot you can change. The only thing you could try to do is what Arsenal are doing are dropping off and letting them have the ball. The only thing I would do, occasionally Arsenal have held a line, and then you would want somebody like McManaman or Barnes to make a run from deep and break that offside trap. McManaman almost did it. He got a decision given against him near half-time when he made a perfectly timed run and was adjudged offside when we could see he wasn't. So perhaps that is the best way, to be patient with that, make Arsenal push up, look for that line that Arsenal holds so rigidly, and expect McManaman, maybe Barnes lesser, to break it.
Let's rejoin Trevor Francis and Alan Parry. Welcome back to Anfield, and of course since the FA Carling Premiership came into being, neither Liverpool nor Arsenal have been crowned as champions, and that's an omission that I'm sure both these great clubs and the game in general would like to see put right one day. Whether it's going to be this season is another matter. Arsenal now defending the goal to our left, all in blue, remember. And Seaman with the first long and accurate kick. He kicks the ball as well as any goalkeeper, but Hartson beaten to it this time. McManaman and McAteer combining again. Thomas. Tries to release Collymore. Keown's gone with him. And cleverly, Collymore played the percentage game and wins a corner. It was all that was on, really. Liverpool haven't won the Championship of England for 6 years, remember. And that's an age when you're used to the seemingly never-ending seam of success they've been brought up on. Bjørnebye's cross, no problem for David Seaman. And again, good, accurate distribution by the goalkeeper. He is literally the starting point for Arsenal attacks. Bergkamp showing his vision and skill again. On it goes from Merson to Dixon. That's good defending from Bjørnebye for Liverpool.
Yeah, once again, it was excellent play from Bergkamp. From the throw from Seaman, he kept possession well. And another sweeping crossfield ball.
Barnes. Again, Arsenal pressing up on these Liverpool players when they're in possession. McManaman. Fowler plays it back first time. And Fowler. It was perhaps one pass too many in the end. And a poor one at that.
Well, it was excellent play initially from McManaman, but he gets himself into a great position here. And I felt he should have attacked Keown. Elects to come back. Little ball into Fowler. Tries another 1-2. Overhit.
Fowler, who has scored 7 goals in 7 games against Arsenal, still not really had a sniff tonight. Poor ball by Linighan. McManaman delivers it to Collymore. McManaman again. Not for long, though. Arsenal slam that door closed. But won back by Barnes. Now McManaman. Bjørnebye down the left. He delivered a great cross for Fowler's goal at Middlesbrough on Saturday. Not this time, though. And that is due credit to this man, Parlour. Arsenal just seem to always have that extra defender. Just a bit short, that ball from Bergkamp. Matteo read it well. Keown in a bit of trouble here against Fowler and captured him over the touchline. Only a throw. Dixon. Hartson will use his strength and a bit of subtlety here against Matteo. I didn't mean him to use his strength in that way. That was a rash, unnecessary challenge by Hartson, for which he will deservedly be shown a yellow card.
There's kind of any complaints about that. Lovely little touch. Could have done with an extra little bit of pace there. Matteo matches him and just lunges unnecessarily.
Here's Barnes. Thomas. Babb looks up and sees all the options quickly closed down by this so well-disciplined Arsenal defence. You have to work hard for any opening against the Gunners. You've got to keep probing the way Liverpool are. Barnes. Now Fowler. That was a good effort. And it's broken kindly for McAteer. He looks for Collymore in the centre. Seaman just kept his eyes on the ball and knew it was wafting harmlessly over.
Well, it was clever play once again from McAteer. He knew that his deflection came to him. He had nobody in the box. He had to wait. Just looks up. It's a little ball in there. Collymore tries the acrobatic, but never a problem for Seaman.
Only one accurate strike so far by Collymore, and of course that didn't produce the goal. But we're still waiting to open up the scoring at Anfield. Dixon. Fowler. Dixon beaten to it this time by Bjørnebye's challenge, but Arsenal keep patient again. Now, can Thomas break for Liverpool? McManaman. And once again, Morrow right on his toes. Unsung sort of player, really, Morrow. He hasn't had that many chances to play in Arsenal's first team. Just 4 appearances last season, in fact. And always remembered for breaking his arm after his Wembley winner in the Coca-Cola Cup final 3 years ago. And Tony Adams hurled him over his shoulder.
Thanks for reminding me, Alan.
Sorry, who did they beat that day? Here's McManaman. And again from Barnes. Oh, little swivel of the hips. Well practiced in the local discos, no doubt. Barnes with the cross. Fowler almost on the end of it. Bould was a real old pro there. He just did enough. He sort of leaned on Fowler. Not enough to draw attention to the referee, but enough to nudge Fowler.
Yeah, it was a great ball from Barnes, but just look how many players Liverpool get in the box. There's only Robbie Fowler that goes for it. Everybody else outside the box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Arsenal defenders, and just 1 Liverpool attacker.
Merson stronger than Thomas. Winterburn making a run down the left, and he delivers a lovely little ball. Oh, that was danger for Liverpool. He couldn't quite select Hartson, and Liverpool looked dangerous themselves on the break with McManaman. Collymore drops his shoulder, tries to tempt Keown into the tackle. Well played, Keown. He wasn't going to let that go for a corner.
No, it was good defending from Keown. Collymore wanted to run him, but he knew that Keown was equal to his pace.
Hartson did well. That's really good play with his back to goal. Dixon infield to Linighan. Winterburn attacking down the left. Oh, brilliant stuff from McAteer. Not the ball though. He's given that straight back. Morrow. Here's Bould. A rare sortie over the halfway line for him in open play.
Yeah, that's what Liverpool need a little bit more of. They want Arsenal to come out and attack them a little bit more. Then they'll find a little bit more space in which to counter-attack them.
McManaman here. We'll try and move up a gear. Collymore. Poor ball, really. He knows it. It's not quite coming off for him at the moment. Astonishing to think that both Collymore and Fowler were actually left out of the side at various stages last season when Liverpool had the formidable option of Ian Rush in attack. Ian Rush with Leeds, of course, now, and that option gone, but doesn't mean to say they are complacent about their places. No one can afford to be that at Anfield. As Roy Evans on the right there will keep reminding them. Indeed, Patrick Berger, the Czech Republic player they've signed, who isn't quite ready to be available for selection yet, could play in attack himself, Roy Evans feels. Misdirected clearance from Babb, he's got away with it. Well, for the moment. Here's Morrow. Merson. Well, he sort of invented a player then, not quite sure who he was looking for.
You can imagine, Alan, that during the half-time interval, the Arsenal manager, Stuart Houston, or caretaker manager, was saying, let's keep it tight for the first 10 minutes, not concede anything. You just sense at the moment that 1 or 2 of the Liverpool supporters are starting to get a little bit frustrated. They can't see the breakthrough arriving. Just also 1 or 2 of the players are getting frustrated.
Yes, with so many games to come, it seems inconceivable that the first game of the season, at home anyway, could be that important, but I think a lot of clubs do regard it as such. Psychologically, as much as anything, you want to get off to a winning start if it's not a statement of the obvious, Trevor, don't you?
Well, you do, and it all depends, of course, on what you did in your first game. You know, Liverpool were disappointed they only came away with 1 point at Middlesbrough, so they're looking to get 3 points tonight. 4 from 6 isn't too bad, but 2 from 6 doesn't make particularly good reading.
Liverpool had a pretty dreadful November last season, which just about shot to pieces their championship challenge, although in the end, of course, they came on strong towards the end of the season. That pulsating match here against Newcastle put them firmly back in the picture. They were a few points behind Manchester United, 11 I think it was in the end, and a handful behind Newcastle as well. Roy Evans has been 4th and 3rd in his 2 full seasons as manager here. Can he go 1 or 2 better this time? Deserved applause for some excellent defending from young Matteo. Handball. Oh, he only caught it, ref. And the Liverpool fans, rather unsportingly, I think, wanted a yellow card there.
I thought that was an automatic booking.
Well, I think most referees, for a deliberate handball, would have cautioned the player, but there you go. Now, Barnes. Fowler's made a great run, but he just hesitated. Now, Barnes. And it's broken here for McManaman. Bjørnebye. Poor cross when Liverpool had strength in the penalty area. Easy for me to say, I know, but that really was potentially a good opening. But the crowd getting behind Liverpool now, and they're starting to apply some pressure. McManaman to Thomas. Barnes. McAteer looking perhaps for Collymore, or Bjørnebye beyond him. Dixon got there ahead of them both. And Arsenal continue to be impressive when Liverpool are attacking. Fifth last season, Arsenal, to qualify for Europe after being 12th the previous season, which was Arsenal's lowest finish for almost 20 years. Good running from Thomas. And from Collymore, who he looks for and finds. Linighan, the defender. Barnes. A rash challenge there by Morrow. McManaman kept his balance beautifully.
Yes, it did well for Morrow, actually, to stay on his feet. I think if he'd gone down, it may have resulted in a booking.
Morrow is keeping very close to McManaman, but Fowler has found some room. Couldn't quite find the target.
No, the run was better than the shot. Great run in behind. The Arsenal back 3. Times it perfectly. There he goes. No question of being offside. But a difficult angle.
Actually, you have to keep reminding yourself he's only 21. Robbie Fowler, you think he's the finished article already. It'll be frightening when he is finished, won't it? Because 36 goals last season, 31 the season before. And of course already an England international, made a couple of substitute appearances during the European Championships. And there's the manager, Glenn Hoddle, and his assistant John Gorman, who will have him very much in their thoughts, I'm sure, for World Cup qualifiers. The first of which comes up soon, that you'll be able to see on Sky. Bould and Merson. Liverpool have 10 men behind the ball. Keown. Hartson. Babb really tight, but he lost him well, and then Bjørnebye just came to Liverpool's rescue. Well, in games as tight as this, a moment of great individual skill is what's needed to open things up. The way both sets of defenders are playing, it's unlikely we're going to see too many mistakes, that's for sure. Hartson. Babb's brought him down. Hour completed in one of the traditional fixtures of the season here at Anfield. A full house, but no goals yet. And not a lot for Messrs James and Seaman to get concerned about. Bergkamp lifts the free kick in, Wright, and I think ahead of him, Babb got up, but the whistle has gone anyway, and Liverpool have got a free kick, not certain why.
I would think it was a foul by Bould on Wright. Possibly Hartson also involved.
Yeah, a bit of shirt tugging, well spotted. Missed the second half of last season, Steve Bould, following a bad hamstring injury. 33 now. Most of the Arsenal defenders the wrong side of 30, but experience is a wonderful thing, and they're all naturally fit players. When you play together as a unit for as long as most of these lads have, it certainly helps, and it has tonight. Now, Liverpool try to break that unit with McManaman, who was brought down. The referee has wisely played advantage. McAteer, back to Collymore. Fowler goes to the near post. Bjørnebye beyond him. The cross is straight at David Seaman. He usually crosses the ball well, Stan Collymore, to be fair. He's been responsible not just for scoring, but for making a lot of Liverpool goals.
Yes, it was far too close to the keeper.
Well, the Arsenal fans break into a chorus of Ian Wright. They want to see him off the substitutes bench and on the field. But he's missed a lot of training and pre-season matches. Collymore offside here. He's not fully fit, and he did have a bad shin injury. He cannot surely be feeling cold. I can't quite see why he's wrapped himself up like that. But well, no doubt we'll see him eventually. He came on late in the game against West Ham on Saturday. McAteer sees Fowler make a run down the right. Here he is. Sort of half-hearted boo from the Anfield faithful when Arsenal played the ball back to David Seaman. No one can accuse of Arsenal of being negative tonight. Wright sees space. Oh dear, you didn't see a red shirt though. But here's Collymore to McManaman. It's the kind of game that may only need one goal to win the points. Bjørnebye for Liverpool. Barnes. It's an Arsenal defender just a step ahead of the Liverpool forward, Keown and McManaman.
Well, that's really careless play from McManaman. Surely he must have realised that that ball came back to him with the offside.
Well, it's not going to be easy, I think, so far to select a man of the match tonight. There have been a number of impressive performances without an outstanding individual, perhaps. But if you've got your thoughts, then dial 0891 111101. 0891 111101. And you are responsible for selecting tonight's man of the match. Bjørnebye. Keown a little bit fortunate to get away with that. Wright with an interception, but Linighan again slams the door. Two teams with a mightily healthy respect for each other. Two great traditional clubs, these. And This is a tighter contest as they produced between them for some time, I would think. Liverpool ahead in recent years, but tonight, stalemate so far. 25 minutes remaining. Trevor, do you see an individual out there capable of unlocking the door?
Well, there are plenty of good individuals out there, but both sides are defending excellently. And you wonder where a goal's going to come from. Perhaps it could come from Ian Wright. I'm sure at the moment Roy Evans would like to bring on Ian Rush if he was still here. His options are not too many at the moment. He's got about 3 young lads on the bench. He is a little bit short in attacking areas.
Yes, very inexperienced substitutes named by Liverpool tonight. A couple of teenagers, Carragher and Thompson and Lee Jones, the young Welsh international, was actually discovered by Cliff Sear, the man who found Ian Rush. But they're all young and hardly a game in the first team between them. Hartson for Arsenal. And now Keown. Keown knocking it into the channel there, looking for Bergkamp. It breaks loose to Merson. And now Winterburn. Hartson holding off his man. He does that well, but that is excellent defending. Matteo, who had his problems early on in the match, has really sort of come into his own really during this second half. Here's McManaman. Collymore leaving it to Barnes. And now on to Bjørnebye. Collymore's gone to the far post. A brilliant header away by Keown. Barnes. McManaman. Great effort. The deflection enough to break the deadlock. Steve Bould can't believe his bad luck. Anfield celebrates its first goal of the season.
Well, they clear the initial cross. It comes back to John Barnes. I think he actually picks out McManaman here. He's in space. Cruel deflection. I think David Seaman had it covered. There it is, an excellent ball from McManaman. Good control. Hits it. Sends Seaman completely the wrong way. He's deceived.
Well, we talked about individual skill, opening things up. We talked about errors. What we didn't mention was simple bad luck, and that's what's cost Arsenal dearly. As David James very nonchalantly uses that big hand of his to control the ball, and in one instant release McManaman again. Liverpool in the lead. The Cobb in good voice, but Arsenal with enough character to come back yet. But McManaman tries to do it again. Not this time.
No, he couldn't quite execute it, could he? He wanted to put it in the far post. Keown invited him to run in. He knows that Keown's quick. He didn't want to try and run in. Tries to curl it to the far post.
And the Arsenal fans get the substitution they wanted, at least in the sense of the man who's come on, Ian Wright, but they didn't sound that happy when the name of Hartson was announced as the man he's replaced. But Ian Wright in possession straight away. He'll fizz things up all right. Arsenal's leading scorer in 5 successive seasons, remember. But now Arsenal are chasing the game, and that's going to change the nature of the game. Here's Collymore. Thomas, at this level, that first goal is so vital. And Arsenal's excellent defending so far came to nothing really in that moment of ill fortune when the ball hit Bould. But credit to Barnes and McManaman for creating the danger and the confusion.
It was an excellent pass from Barnes. I'm convinced he actually spotted McManaman in space, played it in. It was good control from McManaman. Just wonder whether he'll be credited with a goal, or whether it'll go down tomorrow in the newspapers as an OG.
Well, Bould will certainly not be claiming it, I'm sure. Merson knocks it on for Wright. On the ball goes still further. But Liverpool tackling with a vengeance now. Mind you, Arsenal determined as well. Bergkamp showed the ball to Babb. Now, Collymore loves this situation. 1 against 1, but well played Linighan. He held him off. But now Fowler. And Liverpool are really picking the pace up. That's a great ball. McAteer waits for a bit of support. It arrives from Barnes on his right. And he's confident enough now not to need help.
Yes, that was the first time for a long while in this game that Collymore found himself in a one-on-one situation with Linighan. The goal now has forced Arsenal to come out. They have to come out and look for the equaliser. And this is where Fowler and Collymore can exploit 1 or 2 gaps at the back.
Optimistic effort by Parlour. McManaman, what an exciting player he is. Oh, this is brilliant. Brilliant. Magnificent stuff. If he could have finished that one off, even David Beckham might not have been thinking he was going to be goal of the season.
Well, for me, this is the moment of the match. We saw Bergkamp in the first half with some brilliant individual play, but this is absolutely terrific. Yeah, well, he was lucky there not to get brought down for a penalty. Morrow puts a foot out. He's actually outside the box. But the only criticism I've got of this fella is his finishing, Alan. He gets into some great positions, then the end product is just always missing.
Well, they've had a tradition of great wingers down the years here. Billy Liddell, I mentioned, from the 50s and 60s. Peter Thompson, Stevie Highway, Ian Callaghan. McManaman's right up there with the very best of them all. And still a lot of time on his side. He's a young man. Here's Dixon. And here is that young man, as Brian Clough might call him. Now, Bjørnebye suddenly finds space opening up for him. And he's got Fowler to his right. Just lost the ball under his foot.
Now, the ball from Bjørnebye wasn't weighted well enough. It needed to be played in front of Fowler.
It's a better game now, though, inevitably. The first goal has just the air out of the back. McManaman. Oh, beautiful. Barnes. Great save. McManaman. It's 2-0. Vintage stuff from Liverpool. And it was Barnes and McManaman who weaved the magic again.
Well, he deserves this goal, doesn't he? Single-handedly, he's turned this game around. Great little skill. Good save this from Seaman. Well,
really tremendous play from Liverpool. And poor David Seaman, beaten for the first goal by a deflection. He produces a great save and is still beaten a second time. Well, it's Robbie Fowler, who's normally the thorn in Arsenal's side here. Now it's McManaman on a hat-trick, with still 15 minutes to go. A little more, in fact. Arsenal must get something back soon, and maybe they got the chance to here. To the delight of the crowd, Parlour just took too long, but Dixon's cross is a testing one. No, it isn't. David James not going to be beaten. Still Arsenal go forward. Bergkamp. Again, that's what's needed really to open things up. And Arsenal need a bit of inspiration soon. Good defending header there by Bould. Merson. No free kick, Arsenal complaining. Matteo finds McManaman. If he wasn't the man of the match 10 minutes ago, I think he's turned the tide in his favour now. Here's Collymore. Liverpool play keep ball. Thomas. Onside, is he? No, it was a late flag, but Collymore was trapped.
Yes, I think the linesman was correct. They held the line very well, Arsenal. Collymore just straying offside. What a spell this has been for Liverpool. Vintage Liverpool. A little bit of good fortune, a deflection from Bould. But since then, they really have been superb.
Here is Bould again. And Liverpool's hold over Arsenal in these Anfield fixtures looks as though it's going to roll on for another season. All that hard work, all that good defending, and in a matter of a few minutes, with a touch of brilliance from this guy, Arsenal are staring defeat in the face. Wright wins the header, and again Matteo stayed very, very calm. Thomas. No foul.
No, there's no foul, but it was good tracking back from Merson. He's worked very, very hard tonight.
And Winterburn working hard to try and find Wright, who took a difficult ball well. The clock trying to suggest it was handball, but play on is the verdict. Parlour. Bergkamp. Bergkamp's not really been at his best. He produced a couple of fantastic moments in the first half, but he hasn't made a sustained contribution to the match. And he played a rather foolish kick then, which, fortunately for him, I don't think the referee saw against Wright. Had the referee seen that, Bergkamp might have been in a bit of bother with the officials. And there's a little bit going on off the ball at the moment. The referee has seen that one. Morrow involved this time with McManaman.
Well, at the moment, that's the only way they can stop McManaman. He really is on fire. That's his last bit of action, I think.
Yes, that's his last contribution. Morrow goes off. And David Hillier will come on in his place. He missed most of last season with an ankle injury. He's still got over 100 games for Arsenal behind him. Well, you might have a better idea who you'd like to select for man of the match now. Don't forget the number, 0891 111101. Phone us now to pick your man of the match. Hillier gets his first touch, back to the captain, Keown, skipper in the absence of Adams, of course. But Liverpool, not exactly cruising, but certainly in control at the moment. You can never cruise against a team as disciplined as Arsenal. One goal, and suddenly they're back in it. But at the moment, it's looking more likely Liverpool. Seems to have lost that between his feet, but you just forget sometimes because he's been around for so long just what a wonderfully skilled player he is. Still a vital cog in this Liverpool team, John Barnes. As we saw superbly demonstrated with the 2 goals, and he almost laid on one for Fowler then.
Great play again from Liverpool. On that occasion, it's a double 1-2. This is the ball from Fowler. Lovely little ball. Barnes, little header back. Slightly overplayed.
And the crowd sing the praises of John Barnes. 32 now. He signed a new 3-year contract for Liverpool in the summer. His international career might be on the wane now. Perhaps, who knows? Glenn Hoddle will certainly appreciate his ability after 79 England caps, but what a magnificent contribution he can still make to Liverpool's cause, and has tonight. Under 10 minutes for Arsenal to do something about this scoreline. That's good play by Liverpool.
What Arsenal are lacking, of course, now is the aerial power up front of Hartson. They've taken him off to replace him with Wright, but every time they're hitting the ball, oh, just leave it there, he's onside.
Fowler. Audacious. Two colleagues came in, he only had one thought: goal.
Well, I bet he can't believe the amount of space he's found here. Seaman gets his angles perfectly right, forces him to shoot across the goal.
And we can see here the reaction of Liverpool's manager when the deadlock was finally broken. You tried telling him that was a deflection or an own goal. It's in the back of the net, and that's all that matters to Roy Evans and Dougie Livermore.
He did say before the game when he's been interviewed, when they're asking about who's going to score the goals, he said he's not bothered as long as somebody scores, and on this occasion, of course, it was an Arsenal player.
The huge experience of the coaching staff here at Liverpool, a massive reason, of course, why the club has been able to sustain success. Continuity behind the scenes, a vital factor. Battling away here with Dixon, and it's McManaman in possession again. Oh, lovely little touch there from Bergkamp, gets it back from Wright. Arsenal not finished yet. Can Wright get on the end of this? He can.
I think that's James' first save of the match. Of course, it's come from Ian Wright. Just 7 minutes of the game remaining.
But he just underlines that although Liverpool have a 2-goal advantage here, the game is not won yet. And Bill Shankly, the first to preach that games last 90 minutes, not a second shorter. And each successive Liverpool manager down the years has drummed that message into his players. McManaman will want it to last even longer than that. He wants that hat-trick. And here he goes. Collymore and Fowler in support. Poor ball. Well, if Arsenal argue that they deserved something out of this game, that statistic suggests that Liverpool deserve 3 points. 20 shots, 10 of them on target. And here's Bjørnebye looking to get another one on target. Whoops! Well, if his target was that chap from Islington, sitting 5 rows from the back, he was spot on target.
His captain wasn't too pleased with him there, John Barnes. Look at the effort that Barnes makes to get into the box. 2 on 2. Fowler also spare at the back post. Well, here's the goal. It's a great shot from Barnes, excellent save from Seaman, but he's unfortunate here because McManaman, does that get a deflection too?
Seeing it from that angle, it looks as though it was Bould again, who might have unwittingly had a little touch in the goal, and poor old David Seaman was, well, I don't think he'd have saved it anyway, but it didn't help.
Well, I have to say that when the goal went in, I was surprised how easily it went past Seaman, but I think that explains it. It took a slight deflection.
Luck has always been about 90% of winning football matches, and Liverpool have had the bit going tonight.
So, with 5 minutes to go, Al, can Bould get his hat-trick?
That is cruel, and only a striker would even suggest that. Arsenal have a corner. Their interest in the game still very much alive, and that was a dangerous little touch on from the near post by Bould, but there is no one really reading it. Oh dear, Collymore with a very tired contribution there, gifts it back to Arsenal. Dixon. Hillier. Arsenal have got to keep believing with, what, about 4 minutes and stoppage time remaining. Now the ball's out of play. I think we're going to see a bit of activity on the touchline. Then Helder is going to come on for Arsenal and Lee Jones for Liverpool. When Gary Lewin and co can draw the referee's attention. And Helder, the Dutchman. In fact, Liverpool are going to make a double substitution here. 3 substitutes allowed from the 5 nominated this season. Young David Thompson, wearing number 25, is coming on. Bobby Fowler going off. So he's not going to maintain his scoring record against Arsenal, is he? And let's see who the other substitution is as Arsenal make their change. It's Collymore coming off for Liverpool with Fowler, and Bergkamp has been replaced by fellow Dutchman Helder for Arsenal. Lee Jones, the striker, he's number 24 for Liverpool. Helder on for Arsenal, and David Thompson number 25 for Liverpool. Remember, he's only 18, and it's his first taste of senior football. So, whatever happens in the last few minutes, it's a big night for him. And indeed for Lee Jones, who I think has only been involved in the first team scene just once before. Linighan. That's a good ball, and Helder straight into a dangerous position here. He's won a corner. Well, time all against Arsenal, but who knows what a goal now could do to the picture. Hillier got up well, and a rather wild effort by Wright, to the huge delight of the Liverpool fans. It was massively off target. I don't think they enjoyed it quite as much as those behind the goal. Don't forget, on Sky Sports 3, our brand new channel tomorrow, our brand new competition, if you like, the Coca-Cola Cup, live, exclusive coverage beginning on this channel. Swindon against Wolves at the County Ground, a full house assured. Wolves, one of the biggest teams outside the FA Premiership. Swindon, who've been there themselves, of course, in recent years. And that should be some tie. Young Thompson gets his first touch for Liverpool. And now Barnes tries to release him back into the picture and finds the other substitute, Lee Jones, the Welshman. Liverpool intent on keeping possession now and ticking down the clock. But Lee Jones is intent on a first ever goal for Liverpool. He was a lick of paint away from celebrating it.
Great ball through and an excellent run. He knew exactly where he wanted to put it, in that far corner. Try to curl it inside. But I think Seaman's got it very, very well covered. Doesn't give him much room to hit the goal.
Oh, dear.
But it's close.
23. He's been here over 4 years, but only 1 appearance in the Premiership before tonight. Very unlucky with injuries since Liverpool bought him from Wrexham. In fact, he's twice suffered a broken leg. And as I mentioned earlier in the game, it was Cliff Sear who first discovered the talent of Ian Rush, who recommended him to Liverpool. And here he goes again, Jones. McManaman's in the middle, wants the ball pulled back to him. It goes for the other substitute, Thompson. And he's numbered it straight back to Arsenal. McManaman is itching for a chance to complete this hat-trick. He wants the ball every time Liverpool in possession now. Thompson. McAteer's cross. Ooh, Seaman, unusually for him, caught in 2 minds. McManaman. Stoppage time being played at Anfield. Liverpool leading 2-0. And another little dummy from Thompson that went straight back to Arsenal. David Thompson, 18, and a member of Liverpool's winning team in the FA Youth Cup last season. Well, Trevor, your thoughts as we near the end now? Let's just hold on to see what Helder can do for Arsenal here. Winterburn forced wide.
Well, I have to say that Arsenal have worked extremely hard to get a point here tonight. And certainly after an hour, it looks as if they could go back to London with that point. But the one man that we always felt would be the danger, especially the area that he plays in, is so hard for him to be picked up. And Steve McManaman, he was absolutely superb, and he changed the course of this game.
And changed it successfully from Liverpool's point of view, because that's the final whistle. And Liverpool have beaten Arsenal here by 2-0. Arsenal's renowned defensive capabilities kept them in the game for a very long time tonight. But in the end, an unlucky deflection, or two perhaps, from Steve Bould, from some inspired build-up play between John Barnes and Steve McManaman, was enough to give Liverpool maximum points. Applause from the appreciative Liverpool crowd, who've seen their team get off to a winning start yet again here for the 32nd successive year in an opening home match to the season at Anfield. And John Barnes, in his 10th year here, his 15th year in professional football, and his 32nd year in all, occasionally looked as good as ever. But it takes either an exceptional skill or a little bit of luck to beat David Seaman, and McManaman first to acknowledge that there was a mixture of both qualities in his 2 goals tonight. But two of English football's top clubs have produced an absorbing contest here. The excitement came in the second half to match the excellent disciplined defending of the first. And Liverpool, after the defensive frailties they showed at Middlesbrough on Saturday, where they 3 times led and 3 times were pegged back, have looked a little tighter tonight, and will look to the fact that there are some prominent players waiting in the wings to come back from injury. The likes of Redknapp and Scales and Rob Jones and Kennedy and Hartness and Berger. And when you add those to the players we saw on duty tonight, then I think you can make the deduction that Liverpool's championship challenge this season will be a very real one. Steve McManaman is with Nick Collins.
Well, Steve, many congratulations. Was that a case of being patient out there?
Yeah, first half was very hard. We didn't get many chances. Arsenal defended very well. But it was gaffer half-time, so keep going, which we did, and we passed it round, and chances finally came.
First goal, I take it you are claiming it?
Well, I've controlled it and I hit it. It took a big deflection over Dave, so, you know, I suppose I should claim it.
That really was the breakthrough, though, wasn't it? When you got that goal, you seemed to play with a lot more confidence. Here comes the goal.
Yeah, Barnes, he's pinged it into me. I've got a good first touch. And I didn't even take a deflection. No, and I took a deflection off Bouldy, and it's gone past Dave.
The second goal, no question at all. Another great move. Again, John Barnes was involved, wasn't he?
Yeah, Barnesy. I've cut inside, and Barnesy's ran at the back of me. I knew where he was. I don't know what happened with the back heel, whether it might have Keown, it's gone through his legs. Stroke of luck, maybe. Barnesy, great strike, and it's bounced luckily for me. And the power just beat him.
How important was it to get off to a winning start here, your first home league game of the season?
Very much so. We drew 3-3, as you know, Saturday. We thought we were the better team, you know. So it was very important that we got to 3 points. As I said, it was just a case of being patient. We got the first goal, and Arsenal had to come out and attack a bit. And then it opened a bit of space for us.
Over the last couple of years, the side have been moving further and further up the league. Could this be the year, do you think, to bring the championship back to Anfield?
We hope so. All we can do is go out and play our best. You know, there's a lot of very strong teams out there. But if we keep, you know, plugging away, winning our games, that's the main thing. Hopefully we can do it.
All right, we wish you luck, Steve. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Liverpool's night then. 2-0 winners. Steve McManaman, the scorer of both those goals. We'll be looking back on them and a good deal more in a moment or so when we come back with Andy.
working hard, but when you're working harder, so does the right guard. When you're working harder, the right guard's working harder, but when you work much harder, woo, so does the right guard. When you're working harder, right guard's working harder, but when you work much harder, woo, so does the right guard.
You can't work as hard as new Right Guard with body heat reactive microcapsules.
The FX Performer from Wilkinson Sword. A new razor that combines a skin guard, our finest blades, and a lubricating strip, which flex to follow your individual features, providing a close shave that's now so comfortable. Shaving becomes a pleasure. Enjoy a close shave with the new FX Performer from Wilkinson Sword.
This is Mary. Mary's mum, Mary's best mates, Sandra and Kim. Mary's sister Louise in Australia. Mary's boyfriend, Ken. And this is Mary's phone bill. She calls these 5 people more than anyone else. And she saves 10% on all her calls to them, thanks to BT's Friends and Family scheme. Now it's free to join. Just ring 0800 05 5555 with your 5 numbers. Do it now. They're waiting for your call.
He works for a secret government agency.
Get down!
To protect your future. He will erase your past.
I'll keep you alive. Trust me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come and get me.
Eraser.
American Express, how may I help you?
Whatever suits you.
There are relevant offers on your bill.
This month there's one for a garden centre.
I've arranged a new credit card for you.
It lets you spread payments over time.
Or perhaps you prefer our charge card.
Don't worry, we'll get that replacement card to you before you leave on your business trip.
Would it help to move your billing date?
To the beginning.
To the middle of the month?
Whatever's best for you.
Because we know everyone is different, we help you do more.
New Argos catalogue, take 1. Cut! 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 I said take 1!
The new Argos catalogue is out now.
Heineken Export was first introduced to Italy in 1933, where it's had a huge following ever since.
Perché le vacanze di Alfredo sono sempre così?
Smooth-tasting Heineken Export, the world's favorite import.
Hotpoint has designed a fridge freezer unlike any other. As you'd expect, it's completely frost-free. But the really clever thing is, it has an extra cubic foot of space on the inside. And it comes in 7 different colors on the outside, making a Hotpoint Mistral Plus ideal for any kitchen.
There is Steve McManaman with the champagne. Well, he couldn't have done a great deal more, could he? You said at the start the one thing he had to contribute this season, or add to his game this season, was goals. That's a good start, isn't it?
That's a great start for him. I think Glenn Hoddle on yesterday would have gone to Southampton, and I think would have come away a little disappointed with what he saw from a man I think he went to watch, and that was Matthew Le Tissier. I think he he went to watch, along with a few others, Steve McManaman tonight, he'll have come away from there very, very impressed with what McManaman did.
Would you take the first goal away from him?
Not an earthly, no way. This is his goal. This shot is on target. John Barnes threads a lovely ball in, and he's on target with the shot. That's the most important thing. You're never going to score if you don't hit the target, Richard, and he does hit the target. When John fizzes in a great ball, it's important, again, the importance of a good first touch, and it was evident there, because it had to be good. But the one thing about the Arsenal defence, I talked about them, how well they had defended all night, up until that point, and it's just a momentary lapse of concentration sometimes that can cause a little gap to open, and it's exactly what happens. Taking it from this angle, as they clear it, now Martin Keown has made the header, but keep your eye on, I think it's Steve Bould, the other defender, who's pretty close to him. Remember, there's Steve McManaman there, but just watch where Bould goes. Watch this. Now you think he might just stay there and guard McManaman, but he gets tempted. Watch this. He has a look, he thinks there's trouble at the back post, and he goes. Martin Keown's attracted down here somewhere, and suddenly, for the first time in the match, Richard, remember I talked about it with Newcastle, gaps? There's a gap appeared, right in the heart of their defence. Now that's the first time in the match that happened. John Barnes spots it to his credit and fizzes in a great ball. Look at that, super pass. It is slightly deflected, but that was the first momentary lapse of concentration, and it took a deflection.
There was a little bit of fortune about the finish for the second, but the creation deserved a goal at the end of it, didn't it?
Oh, it did. I mean, this is a lovely little crossover. And John Barnes, who again, I said to you, it's great to see Barnes getting forward ahead of the front two. I talked about how he did it at the weekend, and he did it again, first half without getting his reward. He did it again then. And that was great. But what we didn't see from that angle, Richard, and I took it all the way back, because John Barnes' contribution in this goal was massive, massive. The ball, it starts away back there. You can have highlighted both of them. Now, just watch John Barnes' run. Now, I said maybe last season, maybe John held that position too much, but look at this. Look at John's run. Look at him go. It's a brilliant crossover. That is superb football. It really is. Great link-up play. And that's what made the goal. Right, David Seaman can't hold it and doesn't quite hit it great, but John Barnes played a huge part in that goal. Huge part.
Roy Evans is waiting to talk to us. Roy, good evening to you.
Hi, Richard.
You're top tonight. I know that won't mean anything to you. Will you have to finish above Manchester United to win it this season?
Well, obviously, to win it, you have to finish above everybody. So, United will be one of them teams you have to finish above.
But in that sense, is this your biggest season yet as the manager of Liverpool?
Well, I think every season with Liverpool is big. I think the expectation is always high. But we've done well over the last couple of seasons. We've played some great football. Been quite influential in the cups, but we've never really threatened the championship. Okay, we were thereabouts, and we came third, which is great. But you know, this club's about winning it, and we'd love to do that.
Roy, you said on Saturday you were a little disappointed. You threw away a lead 3 times. What pleased you most about tonight's performance?
I think the effort. I think today to play the game so quickly after Saturday, and the effort put in, the closing down, I thought it was fantastic. And it wasn't going our way particularly. We didn't feel it was the ball was going to bounce, and maybe it was going to stay as it was. But we stuck at it, and in the end, I think we got what we deserved.
Did you see anything in particular at half-time when things were... Obviously, it was tough to break down Arsenal. They'd come and set out their stall to be tough to beat. Did you see anything at half-time to change it at all?
Well, only to make sure that we kept it going and kept our confidence. Obviously, Mac had been getting free, but some of his final balls weren't so good. And on a day when we thought, well, maybe Mac is not just going to produce, he had a 15-minute spell where he was, like, phenomenal.
What about your new number 7, Roy? Such is the aura surrounding that jersey at Anfield. Did you think twice about asking him to wear it?
I didn't even think about it. No. I think, you know, over the years we've had that many players in number 7, number 9. You know, these lads are great players. They're young enough and good enough to wear any number they like.
Yeah, they have been a bit special, though, your number 7s, haven't they?
Well, it's number 7s, number 9s, number 10s.
Number 1s, number 2s.
Number 3. I play well.
That's life at Anfield, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice when you win, it's obviously. But the main thing is we work really hard tonight.
What did you make of Arsenal? Final word on the Gunners.
I thought they worked hard, and they frustrated us for a long while. I think overall we deserved to win it, but to be fair, there was no sign of any of them not having a real good go, and credit to them.
Roy, I noticed you took off your front two with 4 or 5 minutes to go. Was that a little gesture for you to give two of your younger lads or less experienced lads a little run out?
Well, they worked hard, Stan and Robbie, and I thought, well, it might just waste a minute or so. And then you throw Jonesy on and the young lad Tomo, and just to give them a taste. And to be fair, Jonesy might have got on the score sheet.
Right, well done. Nice touch.
Roy, nice to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. OK, let's have a look at the league table and confirm what we were saying. Liverpool are top for the first time in 3 years since they went to Swindon, scored 5, and McManaman got 2 that night. Top tonight from Manchester United, then Forest and Everton. Arsenal there in 7th place. A lot of football being played this week, of course. Not least tomorrow night when we go to the County Ground on Sky Sports 3 to see Swindon play Wolves in the Coca-Cola Cup. Glenn Hoddle, of course, was at Anfield, Andy. We saw him earlier. What will he have made of Steve McManaman's performance, would you think?
Impressed. I always think players like Steve McManaman, and I said it about McAteer yesterday, Richard, it's what you contribute when you have the football. That's what you're judged on when you're a player like this, when you're an individual who runs it. This is him isolated tonight with a camera on him for most of the match, and his contribution was immense. He's not always in the game 90 minutes, you can't be. Well, apart from that, we'll let him away with that.
Linighan got booked for one not dissimilar to that.
I mean, he could easily have got booked for that, and I think it's probably because of the type of player. But when any player does what he's doing there, runs at players with pace, with control of the ball, the way he can do, no matter what level you're playing at, Richard, you will cause problems to people at the very highest level. This is what defenders hate more than anything. People who can run at you with pace, with control of the ball, they really cause defenders at any level all sorts of problems.
When you've said it once or twice in the past about young players who come into the game and make an impression, that it steadily gets harder. I know he's been around for a while now, fully fledged international, but is it going to be more difficult for McManaman from now on?
It will continually get more difficult for Steve McManaman. I felt that he's taken a little bit of time to fulfil his potential at Liverpool. Probably it might have come a little bit earlier from him, but I honestly believe that last year he grew up. He came of age as a footballer, I think, last year, and this summer he came of age more or less as an international. Now is a big season for him. It looks to me as if, like Seaman in many ways, he's enjoying being a star. He's enjoying being up there to be shot at. And in the performance of tonight, it doesn't look like he's worried about it one little bit.
And what did you make of the Gunners?
I thought they worked hard. I thought Arsenal did what I expected them to do. Without Ian Wright, they don't really have that cutting edge that they need. If half a chance arrives, they didn't really have the player there that could take it. They were well organised at the back. They worked really, really hard in midfield. They lack a little inventiveness still, I think.
I was just about to say, if you were going in there as the new man, where do you think the surgery is required?
Well, I think with Adams' back will obviously help them. They do miss Tony Adams at the back. You look at the age of the back line tonight, it's an ageing back 5, if you like. Apart from Martin Keown, he's probably youngest at 27, 28. The rest are all 30, 30 plus. So it's an ageing back 4 that might need some surgery. But I do think they need a bit of inventiveness in that midfield area, in that central midfield area. A player to boss the game, if you like, to take control, to orchestrate play for Arsenal. I think that's something that's been missing from there for a few years now.
So there's work to be done on Arsenal, but Liverpool, you like the look of, do you?
I like the look of them.
In general?
Yes, in general, because I thought they had a little wobbly 10 minutes, but no more than that in the first half. Apart from that, they looked solid at the back. When you think that Scales and Ruddock were not involved, Rob Jones is not involved, I think they look pretty solid there. I do like what I've seen of John Barnes in the 2 games. When you think at 32 years of age, and many people, maybe even me included, were thinking, will John just sit there and take it all? No, he ran forward on Saturday, and again, with that second goal, I showed you late in the game his ability and his willingness to run forward again. I liked what I saw there. I liked the mix of him and Thomas in the midfield area. The threat is always going to be there from Fowler and Collymore, even though they didn't produce it tonight. And of course, when you have McManaman, as Roy says, he needs a 10 or 15-minute spell. He can be a world beater and he can win them a game.
OK, let's have a look what's coming up on Sky Sports. Next, the Sky Sports Centre, of course, and after that, Tartan Extra. Goals galore in the Scottish Premier League this weekend, reflected in Tartan Extra at 10:45. Tomorrow, over on Sky Sports 3, remember, 7:30, Sky Sports 3, first round, first leg, Coca-Cola Cup tie between Swindon and Wolves. Football League action this coming weekend in the Nationwide League. Portsmouth against Queen's Park Rangers from Fratton Park. An interesting match for Terry Venables. That's 7:30 on Friday. This on Sky Sports 3 again from Oakwell, the Yorkshire derby, Barnsley and Huddersfield. August the 25th, this coming Sunday, 12 o'clock. And, well, there's one that always leaps out of the fixture lists. Old Trafford, Manchester United against Blackburn Rovers, 3 o'clock this coming Sunday, of course, 3 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. But tomorrow night, Swindon against Wolves. Now, that should bring back some memories for you. Wolves and what is now the Coca-Cola Cup.
The last major honour, yeah, League Cup 1980. A young, full head of hair, young centre-forward, leapt in and scored one of Wembley's memorable goals, Richard. A tap in into an empty net. From what? A tap in into an empty net from 5 yards. It was a wonderful, wonderful occasion. It'll bring back a lot of memories tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing Alan there, to Alan Parry, working with him tomorrow night there. That is tomorrow night, of course, at the county grounds. Swindon against Wolves, Coca-Cola Cup, first round, first leg tie. But remember, over on Sky Sports 3 at 7:30 tomorrow night. Here, the first Monday night football of the season, dominated by Steve McManaman in particular. The message from Liverpool is, we are alive and kicking, and we've got our eyes on the title this year. Are you listening, Manchester United? We'll see you tomorrow night. Goodbye for now.
Sky Sports with Ford takes you to the heart of the action.